would it be Brian Pavlik?
It would be.
Yeah. Friend of the show.
Yeah. I'd never thought of that until just now.
All right, that's our show today. We're back with you tomorrow. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America. And don't forget to download all of our content, Apple and Spotify, and go on to at Next Round Live. Brooks has social media cooking, and for sure, we're rolling out all the important sound from around the sports world 24 hours a day at Next Round Live on all the platforms.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the next round anywhere with nextround.store.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day. Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. Nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, we're back to that time of year where before we jump into sports, I'd like to do something a little unique. Do you have that Gator video? I love AI or not right here off the bat if we can get to this. It's on a boat in Conway, Arkansas, and you're floating down a river, and there's a big alligator on the shore there. AI or not, back, see the guy, it's LRHN_cash. Watch this thing start to move, how big this thing is. Now, if you're ever down in the Selma area where we spoke to the quarterback club, you could look out on the Alabama River and see a handful of gators, but nothing this big, this size. Watch this thing.
That is a big gator.
Yeah.
That's AI.
Yeah, that's AI.
There's no way there's a gator that big.
I don't think it's AI.
Oh, that's AI.
It is
not AI.
Yeah. That looks like something off a movie.
I mean, obviously it was AI last night when Tracy Wolfson dropping the F-bomb and Shire is cussing, and then Hurley walks up and punches him in the jaw, and then Tracy Wolfson says, "Take me to bed or lose me forever," and jumps in his arms.
I have not seen that one. Don't want to see it.
But
That's a big
okay, back row, AI or not AI. Forrester, you're good on this AI stuff. AI or not?
I'm leaning not.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it glides like, I mean, it's like perfection.
That's the way it moves. That's the way they move.
Well, I mean, something
in
that
the
big.
chat room, AI or not?
I lean AI all the time now.
Yeah, I'm like Lance.
I tend to as well.
Yeah,
but, that's not AI.
I'm like Lance. I assume AI until proven guilty.
Not AI.
Yeah.
Not AI. We got a lot to get to
He's
today.
way too calm. By the way, for the size of that gator, and they're going in the same direction.
Yeah.
God, it's a big gator.
I mean, don't you steer and at least start cutting a little more to the right?
I'm on a creek in Arkansas. I mean, how
how's
big
the gator
is it?
getting in the boat?
Yeah, I mean, if the gator knocks him out of the boat, it's just lights out.
Well, I mean, if that's
death roll.
That's a gator. It's not a crocodile.
No, but I mean, gators still eat people.
Do they? I don't
Yeah,
think
they're
they
not
do.
nearly as aggressive. Oh, yeah, they do.
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought they were
gators are-
vegetarian.
What are you out of your mind?
I didn't think they were
What
vegetarian.
are they,
but
vegan?
I thought they were the ones that were on the golf courses. That
No, they are.
We play with
They're
them.
more docile. You don't want to play with them.
Yeah, you don't play with them, but to Lance's point, the crocodile is going to chase you and eat you. The gator
Right.
is going to ignore you to a point.
Oh,
Yeah,
if this was the Nile River and that was a crocodile and it was swimming off the banks, we'd be speeding in the other direction.
100%. All right. Nick says not AI. Rod says real. Samuel says real. Jody says real.
And spectacular.
Koenig Tiger says real.
It's got to
I'm
be
leaning
real.
but I would have expected more of a splash.
Yeah,
when he hits
Tom.
the water.
Now, that's what Tom says. Not a lot of
No.
waves come off of him
That's
when he
what
gets to the water.
I said. It's just
Yeah.
That's because he eases in.
Yeah, but
it's
I've
a
also
perfect
seen
dive.
plenty of
Too
gators
graceful.
just slink into the water.
Yeah.
and
What they
float.
do, man. You don't want to stir away your prey.
Well, I
scare
think,
away your prey.
I think it's a problem. You know, when we post something and you've got any kind of advertisement attached to it, you've got to post that. I think it's AI bullshit. You should have to say whether it's AI or not.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
23 days until the NFL draft. We'll talk Ty Simpson's draft stock and some other observations on a lot of mocks that are going out. NFL meetings going on. Coaches are talking. Teams are looking for maybe backup quarterbacks. That's coming up in the show. We'll talk Auburn and Alabama practice notes and a ton of other things to get to. But we got some predictions of week one games, not just point spread, but actual predictions from Brad Crawford, CBS Sports. And I want to see if you guys like these predictions or not. And we'll go to a prediction market to get into this conversation, brought to you by our friends at Kalshi, where I tried to do what I did over the weekend last night. I turn on, and Tony Vitello's Giants are up 3-0 on the Padres, and it's like in the 5th, 6th inning, and I'm getting great odds on the Pods coming back and winning the game.
Didn't do it.
So I threw a small number. I threw a small number on the Padres to maybe do what I did with UConn and make a big killing at Kalshi on that position there. Didn't happen. Giants hold on 3-0. But Tony Vitello, we got video of the final out, the celebration of Tony Vitello here. His first win as a manager from Tennessee. Gets the final out on the road in San Diego. A lot of handshakes. And now watch the players interact with him. I don't think there's a problem with this guy. They seem to be excited for him.
It was a tough start for him, and
0-3.
Yeah, 0-3, and some of his players kind of contradicted what he was saying. But you're right. You watch that video; they
No,
were very
I
happy
mean,
for him.
he's a baseball guy,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
he's been
And
in
what-
clubhouses all his year.
What do they give him right here? Is that a bottle of bourbon? I mean, it's a bottle of something, right?
I can't tell.
Yeah, watch it. It'll cycle back around. It looks like it's a bottle of something.
I'll tell you what's going to be interesting to watch is the grind of 162 games and the fact that he probably will lose as many games with the Giants in the first 2 months as he, has lost the last couple of years with Tennessee's
no, you're right.
Yeah.
manager. I mean, it's going to be a difficult transition.
Watch
but
closely. I mean, it looks like it's a bottle of something.
It's got like a.
It's in a case. Like it wouldn't be the game ball or something.
I can't
Okay,
tell.
wait, right
Yeah.
there. Like a brown case of
Yeah,
something.
maybe.
Yeah. What would you give? Wine or bourbon?
Somebody could have given them their dad's ashes. I'd probably give him. He looks like a bourbon guy.
Yeah.
You may be able to see it better there.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got like a.
Looks like it's a signature of something.
Yeah.
Like a signature bottle of something. You'd have something. San Francisco, I'm going to say it's a good bottle of wine.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
Maybe he's a big
Kalshi,
wine guy.
You can take your position on anything, both in pop culture, politics, and sports, which we love so much with our friends at Kalshi.
Yeah, look, available in all 50 states legally right now. The thing that makes it unique, Brown, is the fact that you can trade in all those markets. I asked you yesterday about the aliens.
I've got you, buddy.
Oh, do you really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so real quick, though, as you pull that, very important that you download the Kalshi app. You put in that code TNR. When you trade $10, you're going to get $10 back from our friends at Kalshi.
Will President Trump release new UFO files before 2027? 73% say yes, new UFO files. Will the U.S. confirm that aliens exist before 2027? 81% say no.
So you can play those two UFO angles right there at Kalshi.
Okay, I don't know what's fake and what's real back to the AI, but I did see an article yesterday, J.D. Vance admitting that there are aliens, but they're more demon-like. Barack Obama has said there's aliens. These are like legitimate articles out here.
I know. I mean, but I'm like you. I never know.
I don't know what's real and what's not. But I mean, this alien thing has picked up a lot of steam. We had Mick on the show last week, and he talked about this scientist that went missing. And then I saw, there's a legitimate story about this guy. Like he's just disappeared.
So some scientist was studying aliens and he disappeared?
Well, I think he's a general too. I mean, Tyler knew a little bit about this, I think.
General something. Yeah. I forget what the guy's name was.
Right.
But he was deep in the files. And look, again, I'm kind of spitting halfway. Deep in the files, left the house, didn't have his phone, didn't have anything with him, and he's just disappeared. Nobody can find him.
That's fishy.
Neil McCaslin.
That's the old cat's name?
Reportedly, he left his home without his phone or wallet, taking only a backpack and a .38 caliber revolver.
Oh, now
I don't like those details.
Can we get a position on Kalshi that we will see him again walking the earth?
I'll have to Google him.
Because I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no on that one, too. But Kalshi.com.
They found a sweatshirt 1.25 miles from his home.
Kalshi.com and the Kalshi app. Code TNR. Get you $10 on your first $10 position.
I listened to that segment on the way back from Las Vegas. Somehow it popped up, and you had Aaron in this chair, I believe, and Mick over there, and you in the middle. I was listening to audio only in my headbuds, but it was playing on YouTube. And you guys got into the discussion that the aliens actually live under the sea, right?
No. That was somebody's theory. I don't know how much of this. Like, I believe there's other life form out there somewhere, but I find it hard to believe. What did he say, that they're moving at like 1,000 miles an hour? They live under the sea, and I mean, there's so many different theories out there.
Daniel's pointing out the fact that Lance did not think the alligator was real, but thinks there's aliens. That's the world we live in.
That's the world we live in.
That's kind of the world we live in.
I'm not saying they're walking hand in hand. I'm just saying it is hard to believe with our vast universe out there
that we're it.
Yeah.
Well, there was that one video taken by an Air Force general of the some sort of craft moving under the water super fast.
AI.
And they didn't know what it was.
It could have been AI.
Could have been AI.
And this was before AI was popular.
That's when only the government had access to it back then. Yeah.
No, absolutely. They always have things way before we have them. All right, so that's the Kalshi. Go make your plays on any of that stuff there. And if you want to hear the extended conversation about aliens under the sea or anywhere else with Mick and Aaron and LT, that's part of our podcast family. You can get that at Apple and Spotify and on our YouTube and probably on TNR Clips. Is that one you clipped out and put it over there?
I did not, but that's a good Rumble conversation. Don't forget to follow the next round on Rumble.
Yeah.
If you want more alien content.
Yeah, there we go.
Right there on Rumble. Alien home. There you go. All right. Brad Crawford's the guy that's got the early predictions, not the early lines, but the early predictions of some Week 1 games. We'll say Baylor and Auburn. That's one of the games he predicts later on. Colorado at Georgia Tech is the first one we'll look at. Actually makes a prediction on this one. The line's not available on this one yet, according to Brad anyway. Do you have an early prediction?
For
Georgia Tech
playing host to Colorado Week 1.
Straight up, Georgia Tech pretty easy.
Yeah, he predicts final score.
Final score. I would go final score, Lance. I'm going to
say Georgia Tech's probably a 9.5-point favorite.
34-21 final score. Excuse me. That was a burp. My apologies. 34-21.
Yeah, I lean they win by double digits. But, I mean, I think the number's going to be close to double digits.
Not that Brad, not that the game's going to play out this way, but Brad agrees with you guys. He goes Georgia Tech 42, Colorado 17, blowout city.
That would be bad for Prime.
And if you listen to, is it Jordan Seaton? Is that his first name? The big tackle, the 5-star that is now at LSU. He talks about how Deion's practices are all about him. I've heard a soundbite with him just recently from
so this guy's
from LSU.
Going scorched earth now?
He's like, not a serious program. Is basically what he's saying.
I'll tell you, man, this younger generation, boy, they will torch their former
they really
people.
Will. Those transfers transfer in. We saw it yesterday with James Smith, and he didn't really torch Alabama, but it's like they've lost the art of saying nice things on the way out the door. They get to that next team, and they're just like...
But I think what they need to realize is, look, Jordan Seaton was obviously a talent. James Smith, same thing. But did Colorado and Alabama not help them get to where they were
Exactly.
or where they are currently?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But this was he's 1 year, I believe, at Colorado.
Yep.
5-star guy, probably the best recruit not related to Deion he got in the entire time. And he got there and he's basically in
Yeah, I mean, I would go
paraphrasing-
Travis Hunter 1 and then Seton 2.
Yeah, just paraphrasing, he's like just not a serious program. And that's why he got out and went to LSU.
I think we
Now,
kind of believe that, right?
I would imagine LSU paid him a lot of money to get there. Ole Miss and Louisville play each other in Nashville.
Boy, this is a fascinating game.
Ole Miss minus 8.5 was the early line that came out on this. How do you see this game playing out? Brad Crawford has at CBSSports.com breakdown of the game, but an actual score prediction.
Well, I think now that Trinidad Chambliss looks like
That's your guy.
we talked about yesterday is all clear.
He includes this. He
Yeah,
includes
yeah,
Keewan
yeah.
Lacey being back.
I think Ole Miss wins the game, but I wonder how tight things are for Pete Golding in that first regular season game. That it's one thing if Pete Golding was to lose in the postseason. I mean, you're playing like teams or better teams. But if you lose to Louisville's an 8.5-point favorite, I think he plays it a little tight. I think Brom throws some wrinkles. I think it's a tight game, but I think Ole Miss wins. I'll go 28-24 Ole Miss.
I was going to go a little bit lower scoring. I think like 21-17 Ole Miss. I'm with Lance. I think this is a good game. I think it's a tight game.
A little higher scoring and a little tighter than you guys go 4-point win. Ole Miss 38, Louisville 35.
What a track meet.
To your point, not the easy opener you'd like if you're Pete Golding as a
and remember
full-time
this
head
too,
coach.
as you say, lower scoring, and we've said this before. Whether it's a defensive or an offensive coach that takes over a team, it seems like their unit loses a little bit.
Right.
So would you be really surprised if Ole Miss's defense leaks a little bit this year?
No, I would not. I would not. Did Brad give you a point spread on that one?
Yeah, it was 8.5.
8.5, okay. And the total is 52.5. So Vegas is expecting
lower scoring,
a lower scoring game there.
No early line yet on Boise State, Oregon, according to Brad here. But Boise State, Oregon to open up the season on September 5th. I was doing a little research before the show. Boise State, I think, projection-wise, will be the highest-rated Group of 5 team out there this year.
We never see that.
Yeah. Moving
Oregon,
to the Pac-12.
But I do believe...
And that's actually in Eugene, right? It's
the
not
game
neutral
is
site?
Eugene,
Okay.
yeah.
At least where we sit now, that Oregon is going to be one of the best 3-4 teams. I think at this point, I might even have them winning the national championship. I think Oregon wins this going away. Remember, they struggled with them 2 years ago. I'll go Oregon 41-21.
I was going to go something like 42-17. I think this is a blowout.
Have you seen this story before? Okay.
Lance good at this.
Oregon 52, Boise State 24.
Woo.
Easy win there. Got a couple of good ones, one of them involving an SEC team. Clemson goes to Death Valley, Baton Rouge. Early line, LSU minus 11.5 in that one. We have Dabo Swinney saying this week that Briarwood star Christopher Vezina is QB1, and it's not even close. That Reynolds Tate is QB2, or Tate Reynolds, I should say, is QB2. The competition will continue, but it looks like it's going to be Vezina's team at Clemson now.
I think we kind of expected it would be Vezina's team, but if you go back outside of 2024, Cade Klubnik's second half of the season, we haven't seen good quarterback play since Trevor Lawrence.
No.
And, I don't believe in this offense. We got suckered last year because of the back half of 2024, and we were all in agreement that Clemson was going to walk with the ACC. But at the same time, how healthy is Sam Levitt going to be? Week one jitters. I think LSU definitely wins the game. I don't know if they win it going away. I think Clemson's defense could keep them in this. I would say LSU 30, Clemson 22.
I could also see this, Lance, being I think it's a big year for Dabo. And he's got Chad Morris back with him. And if that doesn't work, when's the last time an offensive coordinator has worked under Dabo if Chad Morris doesn't work?
Was it Chad Morris?
Chad Morris maybe was the last one that actually worked under Dabo. So you're gonna start to get those kinds of questions. I could honestly see this be the first game where everybody almost. I'll go full circle on this. The game where Alabama whipped Tommy Bowden in the Georgia Dome, and everybody at Clemson was like, "It may be time to move on." Tommy's done a nice job here. He's won more games here than we thought we would.
By the way, you know how long ago that was? We weren't doing a show together.
Oh, I'm well aware. That was 2008. That's how long Dabo's been the head coach there, because he took over midseason. That was the first stone thrown at Tommy Bowden, and he never recovered. I could almost see this scenario playing out in Baton Rouge as well, where it's just an embarrassing loss for Clemson. with respect to what Clemson normally does, something like, 38-14 or something like that. And you're like, phew, I think this ship has sailed. I think the clock has started. So I kind of see it that way.
31-17 is Brad Crawford, CBSSports.com prediction. 3 more here being brought to you by our friends at thelanceslock.com. You can play some baseball where he was starting to heat up coming out of the weekend. I don't know if he did a women's bracket, but we'll talk more about how predictable that ended up being. As always, but you can play at lanceslock.com.
I don't know all one seeds, I'm guessing.
The same exact. Give me the graphic for us. Sure.
I don't know how to fill out a bracket.
Yeah.
Traditionally, really well, but if it's women's, you just play the one seeds.
Last year, the Final Four was UConn, UCLA, Texas, South Carolina. This year's Final Four, UConn, UCLA, Texas, South Carolina. Were they all one seeds for us, or I didn't check that? They just were as a repeat.
Had to be.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So the 4-1s, 2 straight years.
Why do they even play this tournament?
It is more competitive, but you're right. They could just do it like we used to do the original college football playoffs.
Yeah.
And just invite 4 teams.
Yeah.
Save a little money.
Coming up,
every one of these programs are losing money, by the way. South Carolina, I saw that their basketball program over the last few years averages, I think, $6 million a deficit every year.
Well, I think they pay Staley like 3.5, don't they? I mean, how are you going to make money when you're paying?
It's impossible.
But if you're winning 95% of your games and losing that much money,
there's no profit ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's a bad business model.
Yeah,
I don't know what you
is.
do.
Yeah.
Lance's Lock 2-2 yesterday. Jump on board, though. We've got more Major League Baseball. We've got NBA action up and available. We have killed the month of March. We will roll into April with momentum. Jump on and win with us. Free play every single day. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, cooling, any of those issues, home or business, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Do you get those news alerts on your phone that suck you in? I don't know if y'all have the alert set where you get those.
As an adult, sometimes I don't get sucked in. I'm in the business. I try not to get lured in. But
the only time I get sucked in is when it says something about the Rams, and I'll try to hit it, and it'll kick it out, and sometimes it doesn't pull up right.
But they'll word them like legendary musician dies, and I'm like, oh God, Elton John died, and it's like bassist for Slayer, and I'm like, I don't think that's a legendary musician, But I got one the other day, and I think I was in Vegas, so it would have been between what?
Before you move on, Elton John, you think is that good of a piano player? That of all the pianists,
he's one of the best ever.
Elton John
playing the piano.
Elton John
Also, drive by on Slayer. Why?
The bassist, though, Tyler. Would you call the bassist of Slayer a legendary musician?
Wait, is that who died?
No, I'm just saying that's the type of things you get. Is like
if you like liquid metal,
you think Elton John's the one that died, and it's the bassist of Slayer, and either one of them tragic. I don't want either one of them to die. But I'm just saying you kind of suck me in. One of them said last perfect bracket remaining, and I'm like, holy crap! And this was after. This is when I was in Vegas. It was after the first and second rounds.
Oh, if that was Cal, they're sweating.
Oh, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, if this guy's on Calshi and he's made it through the round of 32 with a perfect bracket.
But if you're Calshi, do you not circle back at that point? You're like, hey, $100 million.
Yeah, I'll pay you to go.
You're like, you got to get 3 more games. We'll give you $100 million at this point.
And I'm like, so I click on it. It was the women's bracket. I'm like, come on, man.
You don't see that $1 billion giveaway on the women's bracket.
The women's side.
There's somebody that still has a perfect bracket.
No. He made it through the round of 32, and he got bumped pretty quick.
I was about to say, damn.
Notre Dame and Wisconsin. You gave me this for that, right? You've done that, right? There's not still something else.
No.
Is this game in Lambeau?
It is in Lambeau Field. It's the Sunday night game, which millions of people watch, so you want it to be a good one.
I still put the number close to 2 touchdowns. I go 13.5, and I think Notre Dame probably rolls them 35-10.
16.5 is the number listed here, yeah.
I'll go 35-10.
With a low total, 46.5, so that tells you they think Notre Dame's doing all the scoring. And that
41-10 is what Brad Crawford
that's about right.
SMU and Florida State is the Monday night game, this game in Tallahassee.
Well, I'll tell you what this game would do. If Rhett Lashley wins on the road, which I think Florida State's probably going to be a 2.5-point favorite.
No line available yet for this.
But if they were to lose this game, the conversation already starts. Florida State is already tapped out. All their fans are like, this is not the guy. We've got to figure.
Norvell's in deep trouble. Yeah,
he's done. I will say that SMU wins this game though, 28-24.
Hey, that's a pretty good Monday night game. I missed that getting moved to Monday night. SMU Florida State's an entertaining Monday night game, better than what we've had of late.
Good storyline.
Yeah.
27-20 SMU, so that'd be the entertaining game. And then the one we didn't get to yet. Baylor and Auburn in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz. Betting line is Auburn 7.5, according to Brad Crawford, CBS. Dave Aranda has one more season to prove he's the long-term solution for the Bears, given the fall from grace since winning the Big 12 in 2021. 22 and 28.
I lean initially
Simpson.
this will be really, really close. It was a good game last year. But I could also see Auburn come out and roll them, and then Auburn fans are super excited, like, look at this goalish offense.
Yeah.
Like, look what we've been missing. So I could see this go either way. What would be shocking, not shocking, but pretty surprising would be Baylor to win the game outright. But I will go right around the number, Auburn 28 and Baylor 21.
DJ Lagway's going to start for Baylor, do we think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is going to be DJ Lagway versus Byron Brown, and I think Lagway's got an upside. I liked him at Florida.
No,
I don't know what
does.
has happened, but Byron Brown's the better of the two quarterbacks in this game. I think a little bit lower scoring. Goalish in his first game, there's going to be mistakes, blown assignments, things like that. I think Auburn gets the win 24-21.
Heavy Auburn crowd, Brad points out at CBSSports.com. Auburn 30, Baylor 24. Some first week predictions, actual scores from Brad Crawford there at CBSSports.com. See his breakdown there and check it all out. One more football conversation to get to in our opening segment here, being brought to you by our friends at Hoover Toyota. I saw a beautiful Sequoia riding down the road yesterday. It was this, I don't want to call it silver, I don't want to call it gray, but it was just color that just stands out. They've got all the variety, all the inventory there at Hoover Toyota.
Yeah, my ex just got a Sequoia there a couple of months ago. Falling in line, got late in the RAV. I got the Land Cruiser. Ex-wife Bethany got the Sequoia. She absolutely loves it. I mean, Hoover Toyota.
That means Jack's getting the Tundra.
Possibly.
Love that.
Possibly.
Just move it on up the list right there.
He has fallen in love with the Toyotas for sure. Their inventory offers a fantastic selection. Their on-site finance department provides affordable financing options. Even after the keys to your new vehicle are in your hands, they are there to serve you with the service and parts department, committed to keeping your vehicle running smoothly. When you shop at Hoover Toyota, they want to keep you as a customer for life. Stop in, go see Scott, Harold, Kim. Make sure you tell them the guys from the Next Round sent you. Conveniently located Highway 150 right there in Hoover. You can also view their inventory and great pricing today. Go to hoovertoyota.com.
And our friends at Talladega Super Speedway getting ready for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega. It's April 26th for the big race, but all the fun starts the week of April 24th through the 26th, and you can get your tickets right now. Buy them at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, or call 877-GO-TO-DEGA. The unpredictable, high-speed excitement of the world's fastest speedway, 4 wide, no problem. On the track at Talladega, you can get your tickets right now, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, and add to it with the Garage Experience. Be up close and personal with your favorite race team in the Garage Bay area. So much benefit with that garage ticket. Check it out right now, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Did you want to make that announcement here in the first segment, or you wait?
Let's wait. Let's wait. Next segment.
Okay.
Show announcement.
Show announcement in the next segment. Big news, and we want to tell you about it in the next segment. Andy Staples, friend of the show, says that friends of his who are Florida Gator season ticket holders got a questionnaire yesterday or earlier this week or end of last week. And the questionnaire is about a variety of things, but what it comes down to is, do you want to do some upgrades to Florida Field, the Swamp, or do you just want to take that money and give it to the NIL, to the roster? Upgrades at Florida Field, or just give it straight to the roster? And it's a variety of different questions, but that's what they're getting to, is should we pay our money directly to the NIL, or should we be spending it to make your experience at the stadium a little bit more comfortable, a little better? And there's no results from this survey yet, but they're surveying the boosters and the season ticket holders. How do you guys want to play this?
Well, here's the question I would ask, these boosters. Are you enjoying your experience at the game? Now, I'm sure they would say probably not, because they're not winning these games, but I went to, in my opinion, the greatest stadium in football multiple times this year in SoFi. And I went to maybe the worst in the NFL this year in Nissan Stadium up in Nashville. I know they're building a new one.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah, but, I had enjoyable experiences in both. You know, the Rams won all those games, so like I had a good time. I think if you're a Florida fan, where we are in NIL, I think I would rather suck it up and pay the players on the field. You know, have still my fun tailgate, come in there, sweat my ass off with the bad wood paneling behind you. That is such a shitty venue. I don't know what they can do for it anyway.
I've never been there, but that's all I've ever heard.
I've been a bunch.
I've had so many people tell me that the biggest disappointment they had in the Swamp is that sign that says "Welcome to the Swamp" is like on plywood.
Oh, it is.
I refuse to believe that. Every time the game's on TV, I look at it like as close as I can.
I thought it was metal, but
no, it's
I've
wood.
had Lance is not the only person I've ever heard say that. I've heard so many people say like, first time I went, they got that "Welcome to the Swamp" and it's like plywood or something.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think you get greedy when you want it all. I think you got to take baby steps, and you got to figure out what you want first. What is going to make your game day more enjoyable is winning.
That's right.
And what is going to win NIL today? So let's win, and then let's circle back and take care of the renovations and the upgrades, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with Lance on that one. Let the wins lead to the upgrades. If I'm a fan, now look, you're probably asking two of the worst people in the world to ask this question because every Saturday I'm on my couch watching college football. So I don't care if you ever upgrade a stadium again. I just enjoy watching the game from home. I mean, if I'm a fan and I try to step back and look at this realistically, I look at it that way as like, let's win first and then worry about the stadium second.
Yeah, I think that experience is like Super Bowl-like. Like, do you want the corporate experience? I mean, that's great if you can have it, but at the same time, more importantly, if you're a passionate fan, is you want to win.
Yeah.
And I don't think competitively when you're in the SEC that you can win unless you're putting a lot of money into NIL.
But what like Alabama and Auburn fans, if you said you want us to upgrade Bryant Denny or Jordan Hare, or a Florida fan at Florida Field, I mean, what upgrade makes it better for you? More bathrooms? I don't know. Without knowing that, I don't really know how realistic.
I mean, it depends on your tier. I mean,
how about if you ask Florida fans this? You can have Bryant Denny. We'll give you Bryant Denny, and it's Florida Field now. But you stay with the results you had with Billy Napier, or you can stay in Florida Field and have Nick Saban-like results.
So you would always take the results.
Yes. I mean, so I think the only way to get the results is ultimately to pay the NIL.
It'll be interesting to see what their research gets back from the fans. And it talks about why you're not coming to the games anymore. And that is one thing. Florida Field isn't as jam-packed. And Andy points it out in the story that he was writing about the survey, is that when Florida Field was at its peak, well, first off, you had Steve Spurrier coaching. Your teams were really good, and they had the best rosters usually in the SEC. And people, 88,000 to 90,000, were jammed in there on metal bleachers.
You know what it is? When you're winning, your venue's got character.
That's right.
When it's a shitty venue. Much like, Autzen Stadium. Like, if they were losing right now, boy, I bet they would be bitching about, man, Autzen, it's got a lot of history, but, man, it is outdated. We need to do something with this. I don't know, internally, Autzen might be great, but just watching the outside
a bigger
stuff,
stadium is what they would say.
It looks ratty, but as long as you're winning, then you can be like, man, that venue's got character.
Yeah. Wrigley Field and Fenway is always a lot better when teams are winning there. It'll be interesting to see. I would venture to say they end up sending it mostly to the NIL. Auburn, is sort of dealing with this on their discussions about Jordan Hare Stadium, and I think they made a decision a long time ago. We're happy with the amount of people we have in Jordan Hare Stadium. When we upgrade, they put a new screen up there. They're going to put some more suites in there eventually. Because that's a revenue generator.
That's a revenue generator that leads to more NIL.
That's
so
right.
That's a business decision.
But what did that scoreboard cost?
A bunch. Yeah. But it's going to pay for itself because it's going to come with suites just below the scoreboard.
Yeah. I get that, but I'm just saying, like, I wonder moving forward if some programs that don't have that massive scoreboard are like, I mean, what is it, $20 million? I don't know. Like, would you rather have a great roster for a year or two, or would you rather have the scoreboard?
Like the media bitches at Auburn, and it's a terrible press box Auburn's got. There's no doubt about it. But the reason that press box is there is because they took what used to be the press box, which was 50-yard line seats, and turned it into premium seating. I mean, that's what
Alabama did the same thing.
Alabama did the same exact thing, and that's what every school is going to do because they know the more premium seating I have, the more money I have, the more NIL I have. I mean, that's if you're going to upgrade. You don't add bathrooms for the lower level seating or the upper deck. You add premium seating. That is your upgrade.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you're upgrading on money making.
That's right.
Interesting study there at Florida. A little football discussion to open up the segment. Will Wade is back at LSU. We'll talk about that in the next segment. Clay is with us at 10 Central to start hour 2. Connor O'Gara joins the show to start hour number 3. a lot to get to throughout the day, including our friends at Crane U. If you're ready to get to a new career out there, right here local, Crane U can help you out, but they'll come to you too wherever you're listening to us.
Yeah, great folks. Very important when you call 855-CRANE-U. You mentioned the next round, 10% off all their great services. If you're looking for great crane training, maybe for a new career, need further training to advance your current one, the folks at Crane U offer the comprehensive state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, the overhead lifts, forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, as Dunaway said, team at Crane U will come to you. On-site, on-location training offered nationwide. Make the job easier, job site safer, classes available monthly. CraneU.com or 855-CRANE-U.
Inverness Country Club. Lance, will I be at Inverness later today?
You look like you're dressed for Inverness, yes.
The answer is yes, later today. Out there on the green fairways, of Inverness Country Club. Not that I hope they're green. I just hope I'm on them. If you want Inverness to be your club home in Birmingham, I was out there yesterday, spoke with a brand new member, and he was talking about how much he loves the clubhouse and the food and the course, and he's heard us talk on the show about the people, and that's the thing he's most excited about is meeting the people, and it's really the best part of Inverness. There's so much to brag about there. Their people are fantastic. If you want a tour for yourself, call our friend Aaron. 205-991-8608, 205-991-8608, and see more at ICCalabama.com. That's Erin. She'll give you a tour, and you could tell her, I want to be a member where the next round is a member. ICCalabama.com. The best days are spent at Inverness Country Club.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Big announcement and more basketball in a second, but we got a big addition to the transfer portal. You've seen him warm up the past 2 years for the Florida Gators. He hasn't played a lot, but big 7'9" center Oliver Ryu is in the transfer portal today. I've seen him warm up. I've seen him come in at the end of the games. I don't know if he's if he's ever a 10-minute-a-game guy.
No, I mean, if he can walk and chew gum, I mean, you see, I mean, he can basically dunk flat-footed.
Yeah, but I'm not sure he can walk and chew gum.
I mean, that's the thing. And you saw him come in late against VCU? No, who was it?
Was it their first-round game? It was in their first-round game. It was a VCU, but I forget who they played.
Yeah, it was Prairie View.
Prairie View.
Yeah.
It's done away. I'm like you. I've seen him warming up, and I've seen him in games. And, boy, in the games, he just looks like a non-factor.
What would it take for you? And the reason I asked this question, I was watching the Barstool guys this morning, and one of them brought up, would you take $80,000 a year to be Victor Wembanyama? You know, at 7'5", but you've got his skill set. You get to play basketball for the rest of your life, and you play at that level, Hall of Fame level, but you only make $80,000. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I wouldn't take his height to make $1 million a year. I don't think. I wouldn't want to be 7'5". To be 7'9", what would the number be to be a regular citizen?
I mean, you can't fly normal planes. Yeah. Like if you go on a trip,
you got to have a certain car, certain vehicle. You got to have a specially bed.
Probably can't have normal relationships. I mean, I know
nothing matches up.
Girls like tall guys. They don't like 7'9".
I know.
Yeah. Well, if they're making a lot of money, they do.
But if I asked you guys seriously, if I gave you $2 million a year to be 7'9",
no, because I'm going to spend. Well, half of it's going to go to taxes, and I'm going to spend easily the half I actually take home on specialty items for me.
That's right.
Yeah, shoes.
Just to get to it all. So
I mean, what is this?
It's going to be a wash at the end of the day.
I mean, you think he wears a 20? I mean, that makes sense.
You got to, or you're going to fall over. You're going to be Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah,
you don't have at least a 20 to keep that upright.
And I'll tell you, first world problem. But if I'm laying on the couch with my blanket and like a foot's out of the blanket, like I want a blanket that covers me whole.
Yeah.
How in the hell do you find a blanket that's 7'9"?
Specially blankets, specially furniture. Yeah. I mean, you're going to spend all your money on that. $2 million, not even.
And
close.
by the way, it's probably, and I'm just guessing, not a scientist here. But what do you think it shaves off your life if you're 7'9"?
Oh, a lot. Yeah.
Just ask the giraffes.
Yeah, heart has to work hard.
Yeah, it's a long pump that's working there. Show being brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Your chance to jump in there right now with Leslie and her board-certified team. Back from all my travels and everything, a smooth 179 is a perfect number to be at that I want to be at. And thanks to Leslie's plan, I'm able to bump up and then come right back to it. She's got a plan for me. She'll have a specially one for you as well. No cookie cutter plan. Every plan is different. There's no contracts. There's no sign-up fees. And there's a variety of ways to help you. You have injection therapies to jumpstart that weight loss, meal replacements. These guys see me eat these protein bars all the time that they keep me from bad snacking. Instead of running by Dunkin's on the way in, I come in and grab me this unbelievable protein bar, and that's my breakfast. I grab one in the middle of the show, and then I'm ready for a nice lunch and dinner. That's my plan. Find out what your plan is right now. aplanforme.com. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. We're at that time where we start making big announcements leading up to SEC Media Days and football season, and we have a major announcement today, Brownie.
Yeah, we're adding something to our family today. We're excited about this. So, we're making an effort to bring you more original programming as best we can. Clint and Jake do a really good job with Last Call. Bama and Bourbon is obviously seasonal. We try to give you some more of these things. Some of those have a little bit more of a local flair. This one is going to have more of an SEC flair.
Mick and Jake.
What did I say?
You said Clint.
Oh, Clint? I'm sorry, Mick and Jake.
I don't know a Clint.
It's Mick and Jake. Well, hello. Sorry, Mick. Mick and Jake. They do a great job with that. And we are adding an SEC flavored show. We're excited about this. The moment we saw that Connor O'Gara was no longer at Saturday Down South, all three of us are like, we got to figure this one out.
Yeah. Y'all, you just kidding me about how many times I'd bring Connor O'Gara up on the show.
That's right.
To the point that I stopped bringing him up on the show.
Yeah, Connor's been a friend of ours for a long time. He does a great job. And we're announcing today that the OG podcast that Connor does, the OG Kickoff, is going to be part of the Double Down Media family. Connor is going to be with us a little bit later on to tell you more about that. But we're really, really excited about this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, we've obviously had Connor on, I don't know how many times since we started this platform back in 2021, but we've all been on Connor's show, and I can't wait, man. I mean, it is nothing but wall-to-wall college football.
It is, and they do some very, very original stuff. All SEC-related, college football-related. It's what you guys love. You guys love the SEC. You love college football. And honestly, I mean, anytime we have Connor on, he's one of those guys that nothing's going to get 100% positive feedback, but Connor's about as close as we get on the 100% positive feedback.
So where will we get this?
It's going to be on demand everywhere you get this show, the Next Round channel. You're not going to have to dig for it. You're not going to have to go subscribe to something else. We encourage you to subscribe here and set your alerts, but it is going to be right here on the Next Round channel, and we make it very easy to find. Just going to drop on demand. Make sure you follow us on social media. We'll show you that. Connor's going to tell you more about the show, the OG Kickoff. It is one thing they do is one of the things I really like that they do is they have a series called It Just Meant More. It just means more is the SEC mantra. It just meant more. And they go back to these classic SEC games, and they have guests on that talk about those games. It's almost like ESPN Classics meets a podcast is the best way I can put it.
Yeah, a little Mystery Science 3000
in
there with just some of the commentary. And, his partner, Will Auburn, who we've gotten to know a little bit just through conversations. Can't wait to see more of him because it seems like every time we've had Connor on, it's just that part of the OG.
Yeah. That's right, half of it. We'll get the full story now. That's coming soon. More on that with Connor in the 11 o'clock hour. All right, Will Wade is now down in Baton Rouge. I do feel like if this was a football coach doing what Will Wade is doing, it would be bigger news. It's big news now, but it would be bigger news if this was football coach leaving after 1 year at a brand name and going back to a school he was fired at because of an FBI probe. This would be an enormous story in football.
Yeah, I still think probably up in Tobacco Road area, this is probably a massive story. Obviously in Baton Rouge. I mean, to be given another opportunity from NC State, and then right when you get an opportunity to go back to the place that fired you, you go back. There's got to be a sour taste, a bad taste in the mouth of NC State right now.
Justin Gainey is the guy NC State quickly hires, a former guard for NC State that played all minutes when they won 4 games in 4 days in the 1997 ACC championship. And he played every minute of that ACC tournament that they won, and he's back as their head coach. But Will Wade, yesterday at his introduction, when you travel as much as Will Wade has, it's like being a rock and roll star. Sometimes you get confused on what city you're in. Here's Will Wade.
We're going to be a team that plays extremely hard, that competes on every possession, all right? Our team's going to represent
Almost said the Wolfpack there.
Okay, first quick observation. He's a multimillionaire, right?
Yeah. You had the same observation we did.
He doesn't have a suit that fits. Like, whether
he can't because I've seen him in tight sweaters or quarter zips on the sidelines. He has a inappropriate dimensioned body.
Yeah, he's Lance. He's one of those guys, and I think we all know people like this. Every pound he adds to his midsection.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't add a pound to his thighs and a pound to his mid. Every pound goes to his midsection.
I don't know what you do then with that suit
It's tough.
because it's like if you go to a wedding or a funeral and people that aren't used to wearing suits sometimes. It's like they get it out of the closet. They haven't worn it in forever. It's oversized.
See, I don't bring this up because I don't know if he's got a
medical condition
that's a pump or something like that was in the side of his shirt. So I've never brought it up, but that's why he dresses the way he dresses, I think.
You think he's got a pump?
I don't know. I'm just saying he's covering up that part of his body.
Anyway,
12 seasons. How many of them are losing seasons?
I would say Will Wade one losing season.
Not a one.
Not a one.
Wins them all the time.
The guy's been a winning coach, and can he revive it at LSU where I think maybe revisionist history at LSU a little bit. I mean, he was 25-5 and went to the Sweet 16 that one year, but the other years were 18-15 NIT, 21-10 in the COVID year, so there was no tournament, 19-10 one and done, or round of 32, 22-11 one and done. I mean, it's better than LSU has been, but he didn't exactly tear it up at LSU.
No, I mean, just because we're talking about, and I brought this up in 4 Downs yesterday, it's kind of Lane Kiffin-like before he got to Ole Miss.
Will Wade on making history when he gets back to Baton Rouge.
And make no mistake, this is home. I wasn't born in Louisiana, but Louisiana's home for me, and me and my family. And so,
family.
You know, we're coming back to make history. We're going to make history one way or the other. We're coming back, like Dr. Roos said, to try to hang a banner, win a national championship, or I'm going to be the first coach fired from the same school twice. But one way or another, we're going to make history. And it's going to be a fun ride, one way or the other. Ain't no doubt about that.
Largest crowd they've had in the Maravich Center in a long time.
I was going to say that's a big crowd.
I like the humor angle there. But, you know, I'm Louisiana through and through. If Bill Self decided, we got the news today that he's shutting it down, and this would never happen. But if Kansas circled back and offered Will Wade, that would be the shortest tenured LSU
It would be.
coach ever.
He'd be like, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go coach at Kansas.
So just be prepared.
I don't know. I think there's something about this guy that felt like he was doing what everyone else was doing, and he happened to get tagged in an FBI wire. And so I feel like he wants to go back to this place and do it now where all that strong-ass offer stuff is legal.
Yeah, but he's got no loyalty. Zero.
I don't know how he would because they were not loyal to him. This is what's weird about this marriage.
But I'm saying, though, but NC State did give him an opportunity to come back.
Oh, and he burned him after 1 year.
Yeah, and burned him after. So he has zero loyalty.
No, I would tend to agree with that. I just think, like, when you look at his record at LSU, you would think the way they're celebrating this guy had him in the Final Four. And he had really one really good season there. 1 out of 5, really good season. He had 2 pretty good seasons, like 12-6, 11-6 in the SEC. You'd call that a pretty good season?
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, but that was
That's
before.
really good?
Yeah,
that was
he's
before
12-6 or 11-7 now. That's really good.
But that was before the SEC was good.
I mean, that was before the expansion of the SEC.
I mean, he was there during the pandemic.
Yeah,
19. So Auburn was in the Final Four in the 19 pandemic year. Think he was going to make the tournament that year.
They were
21-10,
12-6. They would have been in the tournament, absolutely.
Easily. Yeah. And then he was out in 21, right? He coached 21. And
he coached 21, and then into 22. He was fired midseason in 22.
So that's not that long ago.
No, I mean, the SEC was good. I'm just saying it wasn't to where it is right now.
Maybe it's not the meat grinder. It's
of course, I say that. The SEC had one team in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, but LSU has gotten so bad. I just think you look back at these years, and you're like, God, I'd give anything for those years again. Well, they got them.
I think that when he was there, much like the Sabans, he made a lot of lifelong friends when he was in Baton Rouge and wanted to get back there. Here's Will Wade on being what he is. He's just a good basketball coach.
You're not getting the same coach you had 4 years ago. These last 4 years have humbled and changed me. You're getting a better coach, a better leader this time around. Now, I got the same urgency. I got the same fight, same feisty guy that you always know, but we're going to be better. And I want everybody to know with LSU basketball, like, our time is now. with LSU basketball. I didn't come here to reflect and talk about the past and any of that stuff. I came here to win, and we're going to win immediately. LSU and Louisiana deserves a winner, and that's what we're going to deliver, and we're going to deliver that in short order. Listen, everybody has this notion like LSU basketball is not meant to be average, mediocre, or pretty good. You can throw that stuff out. That's not who we are. That's not who we are. This program's meant to be great. This program's meant to compete at the highest levels of college basketball, night in and night out. And as we say down here, it just means more.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say that's a guy that's been promised a lot of NIL money. You don't talk like that, right?
Absolutely. That's why he turned NC State into a tournament team, play in, but in 1 year. I would expect LSU to contend for that tournament in the first year. What he has added is just a laundry list of guys who have a history of coloring outside the lines a little bit, but are really good recruiters. His coaching staff that he announced, Johnny Jones, who's leaving Texas Southern as a head coach, and Rick Stansberry, who is a longtime Mississippi State coach. That's his coaching staff.
Do what you used to do.
That's right.
But now we can do it somewhat legally.
So you've got Will Wade, Rick Stansberry, and Johnny Jones. In the old NCAA post office, their wanted posters were all over the mail area.
Look, I'll say this, though, back to what he's going to be able to accomplish in year one. Bucky McMillan won a tournament game with no expectations.
And really no organized NIL, as Bucky told us.
Sean Miller made a Sweet 16 run at Texas. Ben McCollum made a Elite 8 run at Iowa. If I'm an LSU fan, I expect to not only get in the tournament, make a little noise.
Well, he knows he's going to be able to legally shop very, very well here. That you don't do a press conference and talk about winning right away and winning championships if LSU hasn't said, here's $12 million or $10 million, whatever that number is, here's the money you've got to spend on a roster.
By the way, the robot says no medical condition.
Okay, good. Yeah. Glad to hear that.
So he just needs a new tailor.
Yeah. Okay, the AI.
Yeah.
Okay,
glad to hear that.
Just likes a donut for breakfast.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't we all?
That's where mine goes. Right here, same place every time. Our friends at Central State Bank, before we get to the viewing menu, tell us about those great folks. I was walking the dogs the other day by Little League Park. What did I see? Central State Bank sign.
That's right.
Helping out the Little Leaguers.
That's because they're a community bank. You'll probably see it at a lot of community baseball parks. In fact, Jim, the people that make the decisions for you at Community State or Central State Bank, they go to those same ballparks. They live in your community. Their families work in your community. They go to church in your community. That's who's making the decisions for you, not some office, some other city, right here in Central Alabama. Life moves fast. Your banking should too. So whether it's your first paycheck, your textbook hustle, your weekend road trip, Central State Bank back with you with easy-to-use accounts, mobile banking, hometown service. They make adulting easier. Family-owned, community-focused, always in your corner. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, maybe you wear glasses or contacts you've thought about, is LASIK right for me? Stop procrastinating. Make the phone call that I made over 2 decades ago, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. Michelson Laser Vision. You're going to find out whether you're a proper candidate, absolutely hassle-free. Make the call. Dr. Mort Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. I got the procedure done in 2003. Still have 2015 vision, better than 2020. Stop procrastinating. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
All right, we've got a special event tonight. Excuse me.
I'm sorry, so sorry, man. You're so emotional.
Yeah, I know.
What's a special event?
Up.
Man, allergies are killing me this week. Special event. The Super Mario Galaxy movie. It will be one of the best-selling movies of the year, in my opinion. And we get a midnight premiere for it tonight. Those have been gone for a long time, but there will be one tonight for Super Mario Galaxy, where Mario and Luigi meet and befriend Yoshi as they join Princess Peach and Toad on an adventure into outer space and across the galaxy.
Will you be there?
I will not.
Okay.
Because
it's midnight?
Well, that, and also I'm planning to see it next weekend when I go down to Universal with my sister.
Oh, okay, good.
So I'm holding off on it. But if you want to catch up on the Mario movies, you can watch the first one on Peacock and also available for rental on Prime. Next up, so yesterday I planned to see The Mummy Returns. I got home and I ate lunch, and then I laid down on the couch for a minute, and then I was out. And when I woke up, it was already past the time of the movie.
Oh, that's a good nap, though.
I'm going to try and catch it today. And then also in preparation for the Universal trip, I'm either going to watch the original 1932 The Mummy, Dracula from 1931, or Frankenstein from 1931, or The Wolfman from 1941.
So many options.
Yeah, that's right.
So many options.
Yes.
So much stuff to watch. And then finally, Netflix has added this movie to its catalog. I missed it when it released in theaters because it was a really limited release. It's called Anemone, and it's Daniel Day-Lewis's return to the screen, directed by his son, Ronan Day-Lewis. It's about a man seeking out his reclusive brother after decades apart, hoping to reconnect with him and his troubled son, and helping him reconcile his painful past. And it also stars Sean Bean.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
DTF St. Louis, I watched it yesterday. Last two episodes have moved really slow.
I mean,
do you have a guess on who you think it is?
I mean, I'm just thrown off with the major twist that it took in this last episode. I mean, would you call this maybe one of the weirdest shows ever?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's some weird things that happen in here, but
I don't understand some people's fetishes. I mean,
Yeah.
to each their own.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of fetishes in the world.
Yeah, if you want to write your guess, I'll put it with Jim's, and you can see.
No.
right.
I'm
Okay.
ready to unveil mine.
Oh, yeah?
And to
Right
see
now?
to see if it plays out.
Well, I'm almost to the point where I don't know if anything.
What do you think the key was? This, and spoiler alert if you're watching DTF St. Louis. What do you think the key thing in this past episode was?
A substance.
Yeah.
To make somebody whole. I don't know if there's anything nefarious.
To me, it was the sponged record. The record that.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I mean, that's how the episode ended. Now, she is a see you next Tuesday. There is no doubt.
Yeah.
But it's almost so obvious.
Okay, unveil my prediction. I made this after episode 1. Who I think the killer is going to end up being.
Can I say it on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. What, do you want to say it on the show?
I think.
I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm spoiler alert.
we don't know.
Okay.
This
We
is
don't
what
know.
I'm guessing. It's not going to ruin it for you if I'm right, right?
Yeah.
No.
Because they have not led this.
I am ready for this show to be over. I don't
Okay,
know
here
where
we
you do you like the show?
Last two have been really slow.
Yeah. Jim wrote The Sun.
I don't see that. I
think it's the sun.
Yeah.
Okay, this
I
was
don't think-
after episode 1. Jim called it, so if he's right.
I don't think the Sun has motivation to do anything.
Well, remember that episode a couple episodes ago where he was drawing monster-like demonic figures, and now this
That's a telltale sign.
And this she has something that is a sponge or whatever the record is when you have it sealed.
Yep.
I'm betting her son did something in the past that she got dinged for.
And she covered it up?
Yeah, no, that she's responsible because she was the parent for the son. And
But the son could have killed her ex-husband.
that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
and he's a youthful offender. She covered it up. She got a record expunged.
Yep.
Could have been.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I went son, and it was all the awkward hugging in that very first segment.
Yeah, I've got a prediction that she will end up getting a couple of roles off this that are like wicked roles.
Yeah.
Because she plays See You Next Tuesday so well.
Yeah. By the way, there's no show that is worse at season finales more than Paradise.
Did you make it all the way through?
Yeah, like I love every episode every year, both of the 2 years, except for the season finale, season 1, season finale, season 2. Because what they do is set up the next year, and it's not really a great ending.
Yeah,
and
see-
I never like what they're going to the next year.
So is it? I mean, Maddie's trying to get me to go in and watch season 2. I don't really want to watch
We're
it.
stuck at the first episode. Jennifer was like, I'm out. And I said, Dunaway has told me it gets better, so I'm trying to get her back in because I'm curious as to what they're going to do here.
It's really good until the finale episode.
Okay.
And I have no desire for season 3 right now, where they're going with this.
I don't know. Jennifer's gotten
So you're not talking us into it.
Yeah.
Jennifer's gotten hooked into another streaming show that she doesn't like, but she wants to see how it ends.
But the episodes are so good,
yeah,
leading to the season finale. And I didn't like where we're going to season 2, but they made it so good. But here's the good news: it's only going to be 3 seasons.
So they've already said this is it
They've
for
already
us.
said, and they already
Okay.
started filming season 3. It's coming out
Yeah.
in March. So Paradise, Hulu. All right, when we come back to college football we go.
Clay moved to 10:30, by the way.
Clay moved to 10:30. Yeah. We'll get to him. And we'll go back to college football. Bill Connolly's got his first SP power ranking out at ESPN.com. By using that, what the 12-team playoff looks like. Alabama in, Alabama out. Alabama on the bubble? We'll answer that question when we come back and we hear from camp what Keon Sabb is saying about his return. I can't believe Keon Sabb is back at Alabama.
It seems like he's already been there forever.
Let's not forget that he played in the national championship game for Michigan against Washington years ago.
Insane. So we'll talk Alabama and Auburn football and a little projection to the playoffs on the other side. Show today being brought to you by our friends at Innisfree. The countdown to kickoff today sits at a smooth 151 days to kickoff. Our friends at Innisfree remind you your game day tradition is always the Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Lakeview. That Irish-inspired pub food with the signature Irish gold sauce. Great for lunch, great for dinner. Always a world-class atmosphere, not just for food, happy hour, and that nightlife that is known around the world at Innisfree, Tuscaloosa, and Lakeview.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this superspeedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Another hour of the show here, hour 2 starts off. We started off with a big alligator in Arkansas, hour 1, and then got into our football and college basketball discussion. Before we get back into football, Barstool and People Magazine answering a question that we have asked ourselves for a long time now. Why doesn't Tiger Woods hire a driver?
Yeah.
Tiger Woods has refused to hire a driver over the years due to privacy concerns, according to a source to People Magazine. The athlete doesn't want anyone to watch over him or know what he's doing, a source explained to People on Sunday, 2 days after Woods' latest DUI arrest. The insider added that the 50-year-old thinks he is fine to drive.
Wait, so he can bang skanks all over the world. He doesn't worry about their discretion? I mean, look, sign NDAs. Billionaires all over the place have drivers, and you obviously can't take care of yourself.
His DUI charge was reduced to reckless driving in a plea deal, with Woods attributing his behavior to an unexpected reaction to prescribed medications back in 2017. And since then, he is not really wanting to get a driver because he's worried about, people knowing what he's doing. If you pay the guy good enough, he's not gonna tell on you.
I mean, there's got to be people in Tiger's circle of life, whether he's checking in a hotel or somebody's checking in a hotel for him or somebody's sending these skanks tickets around the world. I mean, he's got other people that are involved in his daily life.
He absolutely does.
It's a bad excuse.
Yeah. I mean, I understand a desire for privacy, but I think generally when you're paying a driver, $1 million, if that's what you're going to pay him, that guy's probably going to have some discretion. He likes that gig.
Well, and how about this? If you only hire that driver when you're going to be intoxicated. Like if you're going to be sober, then you can drive yourself. If you're doing, below board stuff, then, try to stay sober when you're doing it.
I think what we're learning is that he's never really sober. He's always on some kind of pain medication. You know what I mean? And there are times when it interacts and it sends him across a line. But that he's always on something.
Yeah. I mean, to your point, the affidavit says he was found with 2 pills in his pocket. So he was traveling with those pills.
Yeah. So that's the problem. One source tells people that it's borderline between delusional or mental illness of him not wanting to have a driver there. Just another sad part of this Tiger Woods story there with our friends at Barstool. But if you're an Alabama fan, sadly, and I have not checked the facts on this, but it was all over social media last night. And I do remember that the accident he had with the 7-iron through his back window did result. That was an Alabama national championship year in 2009. But according to everyone on the internet, which, they're never wrong, every time that Tiger Woods has a traffic incident, Alabama has won a college football national championship.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Crazy but true. Alabama has historically always won a national championship after Tiger Woods is involved in some sort of car accident.
Okay.
Good news for Kalen DeBoer.
I guess so. I mean, but you're right. 2009, that happened during the Iron Bowl. I'll never in my life forget sitting in the Jordan Hare press box and hearing somebody behind me say, "Oh my God, Tiger Woods had a car accident."
I just remember, because I was watching on CBS in my old house, sitting downstairs and just getting all these texts just with there was nothing sensational about the wreck. It was more like, oh, my God, we're worried about Tiger.
Yeah, but at the time, because he had been taken to the hospital, I think, at the time, before all the facts came out and we found out what really happened, there was a fear that Tiger had been perhaps even killed in that car accident in the early reporting there. So I do remember that.
Back to college football in a second. Our show being brought to you by Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. Buckle up. We're about to have the typical summer in the South, the heat, the wind, the thunderstorms. There's a chance of thunderstorms today a little bit, in fact. All it takes is one thunderstorm to dislodge, loosen some shingles, and that gives water an entry point into your roof and causes major water damage. Make sure your roof has been inspected by Greg from Pell City. Do you even know when the last time your roof was inspected? If not, get a free no-cost roof inspection right now. He's not going to test you. Say, when's the last time you had a roof inspected? You don't know? It's free. They're all free. A free no-cost roof inspection from Greg from Pell City. 205-542-3531. 542-3531. He does storm damage repairs, roof replacements when they age out. He has a soft wash program to make your roof look great. If you're keeping your home or if you're about to sell your home, he can get rid of all that staining and so much more. See everything he has to offer, stormrestorationroofing.com.
The College Football Spotlight
is presented by our guy, Alexander Shinara, Shinara Trial Attorneys. Shinara.com is where you go. You do not pay a dime unless they win your case. That is their promise to you with Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Now, you may think, well, I don't need a personal injury attorney. You know that Alexander Shinara has done very well in the personal injury field. He does much more than that, though. How about bad drug and device cases, storm damage, workers' compensation, employment cases? He handles all of that. Shinara.com. Shinara.com. Not only does he handle it, he's recovered more than $2 billion for his clients. That's Alexander Shinara, Trial Attorneys, Shinara.com.
Alabama back on the practice field yesterday with shells on. Here's a look at the quarterbacks throwing, and just a good-looking day over in Tuscaloosa with the folks out there. I think it was practice 8 for Alabama. A-Day's coming up April the 11th. Just a good day out there working. Kalen DeBoer and his coaching staff, season number 3, getting the team ready. We were talking yesterday about how stacked the secondary is going to be. The big recruit, Jairi Edwards, is coming in. Ivan Taylor is having a great camp, going to be the number 3 safety. Bray Hubbard's back. Did y'all guys remember Bray Hubbard's coming back?
Oh, yeah. I just remember after the Rose Bowl, he was asked in the postgame about an NFL decision, and it kind of took me back. I was like, Bray Hubbard had a good year. I don't know that he made himself NFL ready, so... Yeah, that's why I remember him being back.
And then Keon Sabb is back, and here's his goals for the season and observations about the 7 guys playing linebacker and D-line, where that's the question mark on this defense.
Win a national championship. I won one already, so I'm trying to win my second now. We got the talent and stuff to do it, so looking forward to it. We got some really guys that are dogs. Like at Bama, you want guys that really compete, and I feel like through the transfer portal and through the young guys, I think we found that.
I expect that secondary to be tremendous, don't you? I mean, that guy's going to be one of the reasons why, he and Bray Hubbard. But we talked positions yesterday. Position group, secondary's got to be their best position group, I would think.
I think it is, too.
I mean, with Zabian Brown and Red Morgan, I mean, you got depth there, too.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned about the defensive line. I mean, James Smith's at Ohio State. You lose Tim Keenan. Those are big shoes to fill.
Yonze Pierre back, though. I mean, Quay Russaw gone as well. You know, after the Russaw injury, though, you saw Yonze Pierre come on, and he was fantastic for Alabama. I would say probably, Lance, if there is a star on that defensive side, it would be Yonze Pierre. But if there's a group, it's got to be the secondary. I think Pierre probably could be the standout defensive player for Alabama that everybody's talking about, and, you know, draft analysts are starting to look at the guy.
Could be Zabian Brown, though.
You think so?
I think it could be.
You know, it's going to be weird. The best compliment to a defensive back is if you never hear his name called. And Zabian Brown could start being one of those guys that teams just don't look to throw at.
Caden Strayhorn is like Keon Sabb. You heard him talk about a national championship winner. He got that at Michigan. Caden Strayhorn comes from Michigan. Could be the center, also playing some guard there. Keep an eye on the 6'2", 308-pound sophomore transfer in from Michigan. Here's Kalen DeBoer. Maybe you forgot about a certain part of the season last year, but down the stretch, one guy made a lot of big plays. His name, Connor Talty. Is he still the starting kicker? Here's Kalen DeBoer.
I mean, when you bring in someone else, you know, it's open competition. I mean, it's pretty obvious to Connor that that's the case. What I love about Connor is he didn't shy away from it and decided to stay here. He knew it. He had plenty of time to leave if he wanted to. He wanted to stay here. He's got it in him. Just continue to battle and like that competition there. I think we're going to be good. I know we're going to be good no matter who it is and whoever wins out, because there's both of them have a pretty high ceiling.
So they brought in a kicker, so it's an open competition. But Connor's kick at Oklahoma on that windy night, he was better than the All-American kicker on the Oklahoma side.
I mean, his last – well, they had the SEC championship game, but the Iron Bowl and the Oklahoma game were probably his best two games. And Alabama leaned on him in both situations, and it paid off after a bad lead up to all of that. You got to give DeBoer credit. He stuck with the kid.
What do you think he was on 50-plus field goals last year?
Connor Talty?
How many did he kick?
Yeah, tell me how many he kicked.
One.
He kicked one?
One of one.
I think he made that.
He was 0 of 1. It's hard to believe that he only had one opportunity. He was, but he was 7 of 10 between 40 and 49.
Which
That's
is not bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
70%. Thank you, Ryan, with the Jacksonville State math. That's 70%, 7 of 10. But one reason he doesn't kick a whole lot of 50-yarders is they're so aggressive on fourth down. I mean, rarely do they just settle for 3 in that situation.
That's right. Why risk it?
Yeah.
When you put the ball in Ty Simpson's hands. Cut number 9, Tyler, we'll flip to Auburn, where they're at practice number 7 today as they're back at work. And one of the biggest offseason losses down at Auburn was their wide receiver room. They lost a lot of talent there. Christian Neptune is one of the guys filling the holes on the wide receiver room, and he talks about the competition for the Auburn wide receivers.
Competition, I mean, every day is an interview, is like what we say in the receiver room. So no matter who we're going against, whether it's our teammates or, practicing for opponents, we're here every day putting in work. So competition is great, coming in a bigger division. We're ready for that, and we're showing that every day in the meetings, at practice, and just trying to connect as a group as a whole.
Bigger division, talking about moving up from USF into the Southeastern Conference there, or other portal players, the Arkansas State guys and stuff that have come in. And that gets you to Alex Golesh, who has one belief, and he doesn't mind the crap talking or anything like that. He just believes in this sport, his program. He wants you to be who you say you are. Here's Golesh.
I've said it before, like, I hate slogans and mottos, and I think it's like, I joke all the time, but like, what's the difference between shit on a wall and how you actually go about your program? I think when you got a lot of stuff up on walls and things, it's like, it just becomes mumbo jumbo. This be who you say you are thing really started it back at Iowa State offensively, and it's kind of gone with me everywhere we've gone, and it's really, really simple. I think it encompasses everything. Like every single person that comes in this program says they want to do something. Coaches, players, it's easy to say it. It's easy to say it in an air-conditioned room. It's easy to talk about it. Like, being who you say you are is living it, is truly whatever you say. Like, you say you're a leader, awesome. Lead when it's hard. You say, man, I want to be all conference, awesome. We're going to give you every resource imaginable to be all conference. Now you have to go do the work.
Where's your the Auburn golf guys? Where are they on this guy?
They don't know yet. They're willing. They're not willing to. They jumped all in.
I asked this for a reason.
They trusted the hire of Brian Harsin, and like, okay, I don't know him, but I'm going to trust Jay Jacobs. Right, hired him, and then
Alan Green actually.
Alan Green.
hired
Okay,
him, yeah.
So Alan Green hired him, and they were like, okay, and they supported him. And then when Hugh Freeze was hired, they jumped all in with Hugh. Some of them didn't want Hugh Freeze, but when they did, they were like, okay, it makes sense. Let's go. And didn't work out.
Scott, still baffling, by the way.
Yeah, Scott says cautiously optimistic. And the reason I ask this is I've had 2 separate conversations with people I know to be longtime Auburn fans, season ticket holders, about Alex Golesh, and they asked me what I think. And I'm like, look, he's been on the show one time. It was an enjoyable discussion. He's got pretty good pedigree. I don't know. And both of them said pretty much the same thing. Not the same exact words, pretty much the same thing. Like, I love what he's saying. I really like the things he says, but I've been burned. I'm going to have to see it. But they like what he's saying.
Right, yeah. I mean, look, what he's saying and to, I'm going to make these decisions. It's basically my program now. Like, we're changing the way things have been done here. I wonder if you asked him, and the next time we have him on, I will ask him this, if he knows either one of these. Do you think he realizes that Auburn hasn't had back-to-back 10-win seasons since 1988? And do you think he realizes they haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since Ronnie Daniels?
Yeah, I saw somebody else throwing that.
Going to say Ronnie who?
Yeah, I mean, but what do you think is more surprising to him? Like,
I think both of those probably would surprise him.
Now, he's never won 10 games as a head coach, for whatever that's worth.
Bill Connolly of ESPN, he's a numbers guy. He's got his SP rankings out. We'll tell you where Auburn is, and it's at ESPN.com. And what the playoffs would look like if it just played out exactly like Bill Connolly's computer does. After LT tells us about our friends at Gutter Cap, it's that time, man, to start thinking about what you can do to add value to your home. Gutter Cap is one of those things.
I was told it was going to rain here all week. Am I?
You were incorrect.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
It's rain today.
Okay. When it starts raining, though, the one important thing around the home is to keep the gutters clean and free-flowing. The answer there is Gutter Cap. First of all, it's a dirty, dangerous job. You don't want to get on the roof and clean the gutters out. It's, you slip, you fall, snap the deck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Gutter Cap is a patented aluminum cover system fitting over most existing gutter. It will only allow rainwater in. It will keep all the debris out. Make the call for the free estimate, 205-823-2212. Tell Chris Stewart, guys from the next round sent you. For more information, guttercapbirmingham.com.
I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. You know by now that's where you find our friends at Johnston RV Center, and you can always find them online at johnstonrvcenter.com. Now, obviously, you can see everything in person there, either 304 or 334 off of I-65. But you can also see it at johnstonrvcenter.com, and you can filter very easily there and search just simply by price range. You want to spend $30,000 or less, they got those. You want to spend $150,000 or more, they got those. You can shop by park model, fifth wheel, motorhome, toy hauler. Whatever the case is, you make it easy right there at johnstonrvcenter.com. And everything they sell that is new or qualifying pre-owned is covered by a lifetime warranty from RV Warranty Forever. That is at Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 Coleman, 334 in Decatur, always online, johnstonrvcenter.com.
Bill Connolly uses returning production, recent history, recent recruiting, and coaching change effects, something that he has worked on, taking a 20-year SP plus baseline. And when you change coaches and the coaches' past records and all that, feeds it all into the computer, and he has his initial 2026 SP plus rankings out. Auburn actually fares pretty well. They slide in with all of the roster, returning production, all of that, 26th in the country, so borderline top 25 team, right ahead of the Louisville, SMU, Kansas State, Arizona, Vanderbilt, right behind South Carolina, Utah, Clemson, South Carolina, Utah. That's where Auburn is on paper.
So on
that's
paper,
a pretty good neighborhood.
That's 8-4, right? I mean, I think
easily.
If you're able to get an 8-4 with this transitional year, I think Auburn fans sign up for that, right? I mean, it's been a while since you've had
that's a winning
season.
record. They have not had one of those since 2019.
And
right?
I'm guessing if they're 8-4, and it might look like who's 8-4 last year? They absolutely beat nobody. Maybe Missouri. Yeah,
Missouri.
Even if it looked like that, you would be fine. But you got to figure if you're 8-4, you're probably competitive in a lot of these games.
Yeah, Auburn fans would definitely take that. Right, I think sight unseen right now.
Returning production, Auburn has more than these schools: Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi State, Alabama, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt. They have more returning production. Now, you factor in the USF guys who are coming in and all that.
But I do figure of those teams, the only one that would be more productive, at least on paper, would be Alabama, although they don't have those guys coming back. Just you trust Kalen DeBoer.
This is a dumb question, I assume. Do they count the South Florida guys as returning production?
I would say you'd have to.
I think you do.
I don't know if they did, but
in the transfer portal world, I think you've got to consider that returning production.
Yeah, because you would never have any returning production.
Exactly. I mean, why would we even use that analytic?
So here's what the playoffs would look like using the criteria of a Big Ten team, an SEC team, an ACC, a Big 12, and the highest ranking group of 5. First of all, the automatic bids, according to how Bill Connolly has them ranking. Ohio State out of the Big Ten, Notre Dame, Georgia out of the SEC, Texas Tech out of the Big 12, Miami out of the ACC, and Boise State, your highest rated group of 5, which slots in at 29. So behind where Auburn is, but 29th. So those are the automatics, which leaves you with 6 at-large bids. Oregon, Indiana, Texas, Texas A&M, LSU, and Alabama. Those would be the 12 teams, according to the computer Bill Connolly uses with the SP Plus, that would be your playoffs.
So not to focus too much on this, but he's got Alabama as basically last team in.
Yeah, the 11th in the SP rankings.
Yeah.
And because of a group of 5 that is below 12, they get in. The team that gets left out is Oklahoma at 12, USC at 13, Michigan at 14, Tennessee 15, Ole Miss 16, Penn State 17.
This bubble is different than the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
But, boy, this would be 3 consecutive years. But Du Bois had them right there on the bubble.
Have to absolutely sweat it out to get in.
And I think ultimately if you don't make any noise, I mean, this is just the reality of the situation. I think Alabama fans are like, okay, yeah, we've been to the college football playoff back-to-back years, but what have we done?
Who's his 6th seed?
I don't have it seeded out.
Oh, okay.
In the SP rankings, it's Ohio State, Oregon 1 and 2, Notre Dame is 3, then Georgia, then Indiana. So you have 3 Big Ten in your top, 3 Big Ten in the Indiana. So 4 of your top 5 is 3 Big Tens in Notre Dame. Texas is 6, Texas Tech 7, Miami 8, A&M 9, LSU 10, Alabama 11.
I mean, if you just win on that, they're at Texas in a 6-11 game. Be a very tough matchup to try to advance.
A tough ticket.
Yeah, it would be a tough ticket. You just, I mean, you just can't. We've only had 2 years of these playoffs, but I just don't know if you sneak in just how advanceable you can be in this playoff.
I'll tell you the thing that really jumps out to me is that top 5, 1 SEC at 4.
I know, and way too much Big Ten now. We're getting a lot of Big Ten in basketball and football.
I don't think it's going to change.
They got the money. I mean, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday on the phone. I can't remember who I was even talking to, but like Ohio State and Michigan, they're the ones with the money now.
Are we just to believe that the SEC just cheated a lot better?
No, I don't believe that.
So what is your philosophy, though?
I think that it was harder for the Big Ten schools to come to the SEC states and cheat. So were we cheating better? Maybe. We were only cheating better because the players were in our backyard.
Well, and I think if all things equal, probably you would rather go to an SEC school climate, fan base.
I just think Alabama and Auburn, to a certain extent, realized each other cheated, and they were going to let each other get away with some stuff. But by God, we were not going to let Ohio State come in here and cheat us, right? And Florida State realized, and Miami realized, we're all cheating in this state. And we all need to cheat, so we're not going to turn everybody in for every speeding ticket, but we're not going to let Michigan come down here and speed in our state. I think that was the issue.
Our friends at New York Butcher Shop, before we get to Clay Travis coming up, 4 down still to go, and Connor O'Gara in the final hour of the show.
One-stop dinner shop. If you want to be the hero tonight, stop in, pick up some of the steaks, ribs, chicken, pork, all the fabulous sides made in-house, fresh daily. Maybe you're just looking for a big-time lunch stop. That sandwich, the substation, deli sandwiches are fantastic. Great selection of fine wines and desserts as well. Get in, see Jim and that incredible staff. 2 locations, original Caba Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
And our friends with the Jack Links 500 over at Talladega, NASCAR's greatest drivers, coming back to the world's fastest speedway. That's Talladega Super Speedway, and you can buy your tickets right now. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA, the number to call. That's 877-462-3342. Don't forget to ask about the garage experience, the immersive garage experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. You get access to the NASCAR Cup Series garage bay viewing areas, pre-race ceremonies, driver and crew chief question and answer sessions, and, of course, the Mobile One Victory Lane trophy and photo, all happening race weekend, April the 24th through April the 26th. Get your tickets right now for the Jack Links 500 race weekend at Talladega. Go to TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services will be performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the next round anywhere with nextround.store.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Clay in just a second. Last night, McDonald's All-Star Game slam dunk competition. Jackson Richardson, who's an Alabama commitment, won the dunk contest. I think he jumped over Ronald McDonald, the Hamburglar, and the guy who ate the cookies, and some other people.
Well, so it was better than the NBA dunk contest.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
But Jackson Richardson won that last night. And then Auburn has signed a 22-year-old, soon-to-be 22-year-old. I don't know if he's a freshman, and this will open up all the debate on,
of course,
on who's eligible, who's not eligible. But Auburn has signed French 7-footer. I'm just going to have not seen a pronunciation on this yet. I'm going to go Narcisse Goy.
Okay. I don't know how to say it. I saw it earlier.
Narcisse Guy. He turns 22 in July. Averaged, according to Justin Hokanson, averaged 10.8 a game, 11.7 rebounds, 2 blocks, and an assist in France last year.
This guy looks a lot different. Just look at his. Now, obviously, he's photoshopped in an Auburn jersey there. His body, his frame is way different than the Ryu kid that we were talking about earlier from Florida. This guy's got a little meat on his bones. He's a little bit bigger, and he's also not 7'9". He's a 7-footer, but he's not a skinny 7-footer. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It looks like he's got a little more meat on his bones.
Be interesting to see what his what his past is like, and if that opens up another debate on who's eligible, who's not. But he's a veteran guy coming in with some size, and that's a little basketball news as we await the Final Four happening this weekend up in Indianapolis.
All right, let's go to Clay Travis, founder of Outkick. Clay is with us every single Tuesday. A little later today, you were doing a panel in downtown Nashville. Clay, is that what you're up to today?
I was just finished it and went well, but a lot of chaos in downtown Nashville on a regular basis. So that's what I was up to here today. So appreciate you guys having me, and sorry I'm a little bit later than normal.
That's quite all right. What was the panel on? What were you a panelist on?
I think that's top secret, but it was basically big tech people and how to kind of think about the future of AI and where we are headed as a society as a result, if that makes sense.
Okay. So all the Uber millionaires and billionaires are building a bunker in the Colorado mountains.
That's
I
why
understand.
it's top secret.
Yeah, I had. I'll put it this way: I had a bunch of billionaires out in Nashville last night, so that was a fun evening. But Nashville is a. It's kind of crazy how wild it is downtown in Nashville now. Like, even I'm sure a lot of your crew has experienced it, but as a born and raised Nashville kid, comparing, Nashville in the 90s and the early 2000s to now, I mean, it really doesn't matter. I'm about to drive down Broadway. It will be packed. I mean, just packed. And what is it? It's, 10:30 in the morning on a Tuesday.
Yep.
And it'll be swarmed. I mean, it's just, it is really like the Vegas Strip now. We used to joke and say, this is Nash Vegas, and we were kind of making fun of the fact that it was a version of that. And now the reality is, it's like every single day it feels like the Strip in Las Vegas. It just doesn't matter what time of day it is.
And I know this a while ago, but I remember we went to a Titans-Rams game back in 2009 in a Sunday night. We had a cab drop us off downtown, Clay. It was me and you and Rockstar. And we couldn't find anything to do on a Sunday night in 2009.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
It is hard to believe. I got to ask you, I've got an AI question. And I know you got a ton of money now, but how many garage doors do you have?
Well, the way it's designed, I think we could park a lot of cars. Let's put it that way. But a bunch. And the new house, Laura, my wife, designed it in a way so that we could fit a lot. Just put it that way.
Okay, so pre-COVID, Clay, I said on this show openly, like in 17, 18, 19, I believe the virus would be the end of civilization one day. Now I'm almost convinced it's AI. I know AI does a lot of positive things for us, but ultimately, could AI become a big problem?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think any tech left unchecked could become a big problem. I think one of the biggest challenges here, honestly, is that a lot of jobs are going to get eliminated. And I think a lot of those jobs that are going to get eliminated are the kind of jobs that people who went to colleges would get, right? So if you told me right now, hey, in 20 years, are you optimistic that electricians and plumbers are going to have incredible job opportunities? My answer would be yes, right? I think there are a lot of jobs, builders in general, that are going to matter. But if you told me, hey, are you optimistic that 25-year-olds are going to be able to go into law firms and make $200,000 a year? My answer would be no. And so I think there's going to be a lot of people who have spent a lot of money on their education that have white-collar jobs that are going to be facing obsolescence in their current world. And I think that's going to create a lot of societal tension because those guys and gals feel like, hey, I did everything they told me to do. I got good grades. I went to a good college, and I'm coming out, and those entry-level jobs that used to exist that paid people well aren't there. Meanwhile, this guy who was 18 and just decided to become a plumber, like, he's going to be making more money than somebody who went to the University of Alabama or Auburn and got a degree in something that isn't as valuable as it used to be. So I think that's going to create a lot of tension, and in society, that is going to be a challenge. I'm optimistic. If you want me to be optimistic, I'm crazy optimistic on live events. I think that as more things get automated, people are going to desperately desire an opportunity to be out, whether it's watching their favorite band or their favorite team. I'm super optimistic on athletics. I think, human excellence analogy I would give you for AI is, which I love. Remember back in the day, you guys will remember when it was a story like, hey, humans are not going to be as good at playing chess as computers are. And, there was this huge thing where people try to build new models of chess to be able to beat humans. And then they did it. And they crushed. It turns out now, like every computer can crush the best humans playing chess. And guess what's happened? Chess is more popular now than it ever has been in the history of chess. More people play it. And the overall popularity of the game is higher than it's ever been, even though computers are all way better as humans than humans. Why? Because human excellence actually is an incredible attraction, and we crave it. So robots may be able to run, 1040s one day, but I don't think we're ever going to watch robots play football. And I don't think we're going to watch robots play basketball. Maybe I'm going to end up being wrong, but I think human excellence is going to be what people strive for. And so I'm super optimistic on live events and on the importance of athletics, people coming together. I think there's going to be more desire for that. But I do think, if you're a 25-year-old lawyer in 4 years, is there going to be a huge market for your services? Maybe not. And if you spent, as many of them will have, $100,000 a year on law school, and you come out and a plumber's making more money than you are, I think there's going to be some societal discombobulation associated with that.
Clay Travis is with us, founder of Outkick with Fox Now, and he is on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. To basketball, and we used to ask this question, like Alabama fans, when they were on the run with Nick Saban, we would ask the question, do you think you'd take another football championship or your first basketball championship? Then Alabama made the Final Four, and it kind of became real. As a Tennessee fan, I really don't know how to ask it, but 3 straight Elite Eights, I mean, that Final Four glass ceiling is still there. How hungry is the Tennessee nation to break that? You haven't won a football championship in a long time, so I can't ask you that question.
I asked him this last week.
Oh, did you?
I just said, as a Tennessee fan, would you rather have a Final Four or would you?
For the rest of my life, I want a basketball championship. I'd take one more football championship, and I would like the Titans to win a Super Bowl. So if, I'm 46, if you told me, hey, you get to live to be, 85, 86, I would hope I can make it there. That's 40 years. If you told me you'll get one basketball, one football, and a Super Bowl at some point in those next 40 years, I would sign off and take that and be happy as a fan. And I do think Tennessee is close. The reality is sometimes the bracket breaks your ways. Other times it hasn't. I mean, look, I think you go back and you look at the Elite Eight matchups. Tennessee's been an underdog, and every time they've been playing a 1 seed, right? They lost to Purdue, who went on and played for the national championship. They lost to Houston, who went on and played for the national championship in the Elite Eight. And I think there's a very good chance that Michigan's going to win the national championship. So they'll either lose to a potential national champion or not. It'd be nice to be there and get to play a 7 or an 8 seed, and have the bracket kind of break your way, so to speak. And that hasn't happened yet.
Who's hated more right now, Dan Hurley or Duke? Because I was sitting there, I love that they made that shot, Clay, and I'm like, this is what the tournament's all about, and I love Duke getting gutted, and then I looked over and I saw Dan Hurley smiling, and I'm like,
and headbutting a ref.
Yeah, damn, like I can't stand either.
Well, UConn, I think, has had more recent success than Duke has. And so, it's not like they lost to a Cinderella team. I mean, they lost, and frankly, Cinderella basically doesn't exist anymore, right? And so I think there's a lot of people that are over Hurley, but I think that's directly connected to the same reason people were over Duke. And it is, and why some people were over Alabama football. It's when you have a level of success that keeps happening. Generally speaking, the average sports fan wants for something new to happen, for someone new to rise up and beat the champs. And I think that's certainly factors in with the popularity of both Duke and UConn over time, but also why so many people root against them.
Would you have teed Dan Hurley up there at the end of the game when he put his forehead to Roger Ayers' forehead after that shot? Coach K said on McAfee yesterday he would not have, but there were some people who thought it should have been a technical foul. Would you have teed him up if you were Roger Ayers?
I think the you can look this up. This morning as I was doing prep for everything, somebody, and I'm not sure who it was, said that they had talked to the ref and he was kind of befuddled that this thing had turned into such a story, that he and Hurley had a good relationship and that they had been talking to each other, and it felt like a totally normal interaction to the referee. And I think Hurley said the same thing. So sometimes video and the angles that we see and everything else cannot accurately characterize what was actually being said. I mean, it was so loud in that arena. I would be curious what Hurley was saying, but he says he has a good relationship. Supposedly the official was surprised that this has turned into a story. And so I think the way it comes off on video looks more contentious than either individual involved in the conversation thought it was from their perspectives.
Did you feel like in real time that shot was on the level of Christian Laettner or Chris Jenkins? In real time, did that occur to you? Because there are a lot of people that are raking it there, yeah.
Yeah, it did, because, I think the reason the Laettner shot has so captivated the country for so long as a moment of sports excellence and sports tragedy and triumph is that swing in emotions and the improbability of the swing in emotions occurring. Just like with Laettner, if I remember correctly, everybody forgets, but Kentucky had just hit and I don't even remember who the Kentucky player was, but my recollection is basically a guy got into the lane, a guard, and banked in a hook shot. It was kind of a crazy shot to even throw up and go in. And everybody thought, oh my goodness, what a win for Rick Pitino. What a win for Kentucky. And then you have that, Grant Hill pass to Christian Laettner, the iconic Grant Hill reaction, and the team reacting as everybody kind of walked around. Was it Thomas Brooks, that guy's name, who has his, he's crying. He's got his hands on his,
I thought it was Brian Davis.
Maybe so. It's been a long time. All these names kind of run together. But Grant Hill was there reacting to this one, 35 years later. And so it felt like the reverse Laettner, I think, was what I said kind of in the moment, where Duke had that improbable win. And then you follow it up with that now an improbable loss. And I think it's the swing in emotions in both directions. And the fact that everybody thought that game was over, and then UConn's now playing against Illinois and Duke's season is over. And I think, that unbelievable reaction shot of John Shire, you could just see him going through the 80 stages of grief there as, he's thinking, hey, we got to lay up at the other end. This game is over. Ball's tipped. Next thing you know, guy drains a shot from near half court and the season's over and you got to go shake hands. I think that's why people love March Madness. When it breaks in your favor, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. When it doesn't break in your favor, it's the worst. And I think we'll be seeing that shot on replay for the rest of our lives, candidly.
Clay, I don't know if you've seen this story, but one of the best young players in the NBA, Anthony Edwards, has been out the last 6 games with a knee injury. He came back in the lineup last night, was supposed to start, didn't make it back for tip. The Wolves head coach Chris Finch said it was because nature calls.
Oh, no.
I was going to ask you if a situation like that has ever popped up, but I'll ask it a little differently. Would you have been comfortable taking a shit on Air Force One?
So this is actually funny. There is a bathroom on Air Force One that is in between where the president often comes to answer questions on Air Force One. So I actually had this conversation with the reporters when I flew on Air Force One. I was like, what's the worst thing that can happen to a reporter on Air Force One? And all of them were like, oh, you can go to the bathroom. And when you're in the bathroom, Secret Service won't let you come out while the president is answering questions. So it's twofold. One, you miss your job, which is to ask the president questions, get him on video, make all the news. Two, you are stuck. Like, the Secret Service won't let you come out. So every now and then somebody tries to come out, and there's videos of it, and you'll see like the president have to move. So it's like everybody in the world knows that you were pooping and that, you're trying to come back out, and everybody on camera sees you trying to interrupt the president of the United States as he has a press conference. In fact, I think there's a video of that's happened in the last few months, where President Trump actually calls it into point and is like, hey, he's trying to come out of the bathroom here. So, whatever you've ever done, imagine that you interrupt a, press conference gaggle for the president of the United States because you're trying to come out of the bathroom. So I did not go into the bathroom. I think I did pee, but that's fast. And I was a little bit nervous when I went in to pee that I would somehow get caught in the bathroom by the president coming back to answer questions, but it didn't happen to me. I definitely would not poop. I would not poop on the Air Force One. It would have to be a really long flight, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. Or a really, really bad stomach situation, one of the two. He is Clay Travis, founder of Outkick Fox, at Clay Travis.
No doubt.
On Twitter. Clay, thank you for the time. Have a great week. All right.
Appreciate y'all. I'll see you.
All right, buddy. Clay is out. He is on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Yeah, Alexander Shinara bringing us part of the show before we get to our 4 downs today. Tell us about, you just did tell us about Alexander Shinara. Tell us about Central Alabama asphalt.
Oh, 4 down, Central Alabama asphalt. Jim, give me 1 second. When you're riding around in the state of Alabama and you see some of these federal, state government, municipal paving jobs, Central Alabama Asphalt Construction, probably the crew that is doing it there. And you would say, well, that means they can't handle my smaller project, which is highways, which is driveways, parking pads, parking lot for a church or a community center. No. They have got the crews that are dedicated just to that. And it's the same quality, same no excuse standards, no matter the size of the job. Here's the number, 205-349-0910 to get an estimate, 205-349-0910 or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
What happens first? John Shire wins a national championship as Duke's head coach, or any ACC or Big 12 college football program wins a national championship?
I mean, Miami played for it this past year. Do I remember correctly?
Yeah, you do remember correctly.
Yeah.
And had the ball in hand with a chance to win it.
Duke was the number 1 seed this year overall, number 2 overall last year.
Interesting stat. John Shire and Bruce Pearl, by the way. Pull that graphic if you can for me. Only 2 schools have lost 3 straight years of the NCAA tournament when leading by 6 or more points in a game. It's John Shire's Duke's team in 24, 25, and 26, and Bruce Pearl's Auburn team in 23, 24, and 25.
Normally, that's the company you want to be in, is John Shire and Duke. Like right. Auburn, you're in John Shire and Duke's or a company. It's only the 2 of you. You're like, I'll take it.
Josh DeBow, AP, only schools to be eliminated from the NCAA tournament in 3 straight years after holding a halftime lead of 6 or more points in each game.
Look, Shire's going to break through at some point. It's almost impossible he doesn't, right?
Well, I mean, he still recruits at the highest of levels.
They've got the best players. He's at the best program.
He's won 70 games the last 2 years.
He's been in a Final Four and 2 Elite Eights, I think it is. I mean, he's going to break through and win one. I think I would take him.
I think I would take Shire as well, too.
I think I would take Shire as well.
Yeah.
Second down.
And everybody says he's a really good coach. Like, nobody can put a finger on why they're collapsing. Like, they don't point at anything specifically Shire does. It's just been these weird collapses.
Better next 5 years, UConn basketball or Indiana football? It's a weird question.
It is a weird question we're asking here.
I think it's become a legitimate question.
It has. I think I'm going to go UConn basketball, Jim.
I think I'll go UConn basketball. I mean, I don't think you can have a blue blood discussion. I know it'll be new blood or all that, but what is it? Is it 6 national championships?
Brooks was giving us this yesterday.
Yeah.
I think Brooks said 8th Final Four now, and they've cashed in on 6 of the. Brooks, is that right?
This is their 8th Final Four since 1999. They have won the national championship 6 of the 7 times they've been to the Final Four.
I mean, that's remarkable.
This is Hurley's 3rd time in 4 years, and of course, the other 2 times he's been to the Final Four, he won it. I'm going to say, all due respect to the face of college football right now, Kirk Cignetti, I'm going to go UConn basketball.
I'll lean UConn basketball just because it's been done longer, and it is hard to believe. Although, 26 wins over the last couple of years in a national championship. And the thing I would say, even the down year last year for Hurley, they were an 8 seed, and they played Florida pretty tough in that second round.
Yeah. And this is not one of his better teams, and they're in the Final Four.
No doubt. So, I think I would agree with you guys.
Big test this year for Cignetti to see if he can continue to reload at quarterback. That's hard to do, to be right every time. But also, now that you've won it all, is everyone is hungry inside the program to keep doing it day in and day out. That's what made Nick Saban so good.
Third down.
AC/DC's Angus Young, 71 years old. If I asked you, ultimately better career, Angus Young or Bryce Young? Current quarterback for the Carolina Panthers.
Bryce Young on the show soon, I think.
Yes, Bryce scheduled to be with us next week on the show, so we look forward to that. Angus not scheduled to be with us on the show.
Angus, this seems like a slam dunk.
Kind of
you're
does.
talking about one of the best rock and roll groups of all time, but you look at Bryce, he's won a Heisman. He got Carolina to the playoffs. He's got one of the best young coaches in the NFL in Dave Canales. That division is wide open. I'm just saying, if Bryce continues to progress...
AC/DC rock band, top 20 rock band all time? Top 10? Are they top 10?
Overrated for me.
Overrated. You would not have them top 20.
Wild take.
It is a wild take.
How many number one songs?
Well, look, I'm just talking about their longevity as far as like.
All you have to do is get into the classic rock genre, and they're going to play you forever.
But I bet if you go,
and over and
all
over.
these different charts, because we go to country, and that's a niche chart.
Yeah.
If you go to hard rock charts, I guarantee you they have dominated.
Yeah,
but that's a hard rock chart. That's a niche as well.
That's what I'm saying. Though, but. I'm just talking
also the rock charts and categorization just gets super weird because now like Nirvana is classic rock.
That's right.
Foo Fighters is classic rock.
But Back in Black. Name the other ones now for me on AC/DC.
High Voltage.
Is that an album or a song?
Moneymaker.
I'm just, when we ask these questions, I'm inclined to go with a guy whose career I've already seen, which is Angus Young, which has been tremendous. So I'll go Angus Young. I haven't seen what Bryce Young is going to become in the NFL. I've seen Angus Young's career.
I just know from the 70s to the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and now, this is a band that continues to sell out arenas. 50 years.
Their debut album came out in 75, so right at 51 years. Selling out.
But I do think if Bryce was to win a Super Bowl,
if you win a Super Bowl, you
start making conversation.
You change this, yeah.
Fourth down.
Fourth down.
This one a little more difficult. Christopher Walken, 83 years old today. If I asked you ultimately better career, Christopher Walken or Chris Rock?
I'd go Christopher Walken. I answered that too.
For me, Chris Rock. I enjoy his comedy over the years.
I don't dislike
Chris
Rock
lately.
I think Christopher Walken is better, but I think Chris Rock is more successful commercially.
Yeah, more mainstream. But Walken did win Academy Award for The Deer Hunter. He's just gotten pegged as, and I think it's legitimate, how weird he is. You see him in that new Miller commercial. Which is it's so strange.
It is. It really is. I think I'll go Walken here. That's a tough one, though.
Yeah, Chris Rock for me. That is our 4 downs today. A show being brought to you by a couple of great folks. One of them is our friends at CPAP Plus. Tell us about CPAP Plus, LT.
If you are not getting quality sleep each and every night, you need to go see the O'Neill brothers. O'Neill Medical, CPAP Plus. Woody and Joe do a tremendous job. 5 locations throughout the state, including 3 right here in Birmingham, Pelham, Highway 280, Trustful. Stop by CPAP Plus. You're going to find the best service and equipment, all in stock, ready for you, with hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. Trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. CPAP Plus, where every night matters. For more information, o'neillmed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Think about the best summer nights of your life. How many of those were in a great t-shirt? Visit nextround.store to get the perfect t-shirt for the next perfect southern night. Nextround.store, the memories are waiting.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
By the way, Connor O'Gara will join the show here in a second. Mo Williams, who's the head basketball coach at Jackson State, looks like he's going to be on the Kentucky basketball staff, leaving a head coaching job to become an assistant at Kentucky. I think what we're learning is that it's a faster path to getting a head coaching job up the ladder a little bit more.
Yep.
To be a high-profile assistant at a big program than it is to work your way up from the smaller programs.
Here's the risk, though. Going to coach under Mark Pope, if for whatever reason they're one and done or don't make the tournament, there's a good chance year 3 he gets fired.
Yep, that's
and then you're hitting the reset.
Yeah, 100% true right there. So that's really interesting. Also, before I tell you that this hour is brought to you by our friends at Champy's, we've got a new Smoky in Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Smoky 7. And I'm going to dare say this is the best-looking Smoky of all time.
Why so? Based on what?
This just is a beautiful-looking dog.
Those are pretty dogs.
And I think his coat from neck down, from that obnoxious orange checkerboard down collar, it just looks fantastic. I've had my picture with Smokey a couple of times over the years. I just think this Smokey is going to go down as the best-looking Smokey of all time.
It's a good-looking Smokey.
Is that a blue tick hound? Is that what that is?
I think that is true. His dad was Smokey 5. This is Smokey 7, so he's in that bloodline.
They've got a GSP look to them, German Short-Hair Pointers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That is a blue tick hound.
Okay,
right?
thank you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying their look,
dogs.
it is definitely a blue tick.
Yeah. Good-looking dog there. Congratulations.
I almost had one. Remember?
Sorry for the. Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, we had that bet back in the day where if Oklahoma lost, then I had to go out and get a blue tick hound. And if Tennessee lost, then Dunaway had to wear the coonskin hat for a week.
And Tennessee led at the half.
I think they did.
And Baker Mayfield, I think, brought Oklahoma back.
Oh, they did. I think it was led significantly at one point. Was it like 17-0? And they blew the 17-point lead?
Champy's Chicken brings you the final hour of our show. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew. Over a decade at the same location, 11 years of service. He's curated and created just a great atmosphere to enjoy the Southern cuisine that is Southern fried chicken. Brined overnight, cooked to order, hand-cut chicken fingers, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and so much more. Say hi to Sterling and go by at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster.
Connor O'Gara has been a friend of this show for a very, very long time, and as we announced earlier, now he is part of this show and this family at Double Down Media. The OG kickoff with he and Will Ogburn is going to debut very, very soon right here in the same exact place you are watching this show or listening to this show. You don't have to set new alerts or anything. We do encourage you to subscribe and set alerts. But if you've already done that, it's right here with the next round, the OG kickoff. And one of the hosts of that is Connor O'Gara with us now. Welcome in, Connor. How are you, buddy?
Gentlemen, good to be here. I've been looking forward to this day for a while, and let me just say it's a pleasure to be able to join what you guys have built and what Will and I have been trying to do for the last several years is try and establish ourselves as a voice within this conference, and getting to do so on your airwaves and getting to do so with your audience, hopefully, who will come over and subscribe to the OG Kickoff wherever you get your podcasts. To us, it's such a joy, and Will has been such a big part of being able to build what we do. And I know you guys are familiar with me and know that I have great respect for what you guys have been able to do. So yeah, this chapter, it couldn't come soon enough, and really looking forward to what's ahead.
Did you ever think that we were just being nice when we'd pass you at SEC Media Days for 3 or 4 years saying, hey man, maybe this year there's a podcast opportunity? Do you ever think we were just like being nice?
Yeah, there was always some of that. And look, the stars had to align, the pieces had to work out the way that they did. And, unfortunately, not the circumstances I would have ideally drawn up for those stars to align, but I'm glad that we got here, and it's been fun to be able to talk to you guys kind of throughout this process. And one of the first people that I talked to after I was laid off at SDS was LT. And, we talked about some possibilities of what that could look like, and having the ability to have the podcast feed was huge. And being able to say, hey, listeners of our show, you don't have to go anywhere new. We're going to change the name, obviously, like we're going to change how it looks to a lot of people. But, we talked about what it could potentially look like, and getting to do this with you guys. I know that you guys are going to be great partners for us, and that's all we've really wanted, is just partners and people like they feel like they want to grow our show and grow what we get to do.
So a lot of our listeners and viewers have seen you right here on this platform, but if they haven't seen the OG with you and Will, what should they expect on a weekly basis?
We talk college football year round. That is what we do. We talk college football predominantly in the SEC. We do so most times of the year. It's twice a week show. and we do one episode that comes out on Tuesday morning, wherein we'll either do something that's really evergreen. For example, today, the podcast that is literally going to drop on the Next Round YouTube that you can see at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central, is the OG evergreen college football rules that we have that dig into, things that we say very often on the show that we kind of say without even thinking at this point, just mantras that we subscribe to, and you can listen to be able to get all that stuff. So we'll do something like that, or related to some news that happened over the weekend, something that really want to dig into, as long as as well as an interview that we have with our show that comes out on Tuesday morning. And then what we've been doing since we relaunched the show the last few weeks, and something that we're going to be doing through the NFL draft, is It Just Meant More podcasts. If you've ever listened to the Rewatchables on The Ringer or something, a podcast that recaps classic movies, they have a lot of fun with it. They do a bunch of different categories. We do that with SEC football games. The game that we're doing this week, that I'm literally doing prep for, and we'll do prep after I get off with you guys, is the 2010 BCS National Championship, a certain Cam Newton against Oregon, a game that I know Auburn fans like to replay very often. So a game that we will dig into all the different angles with it. So we'll do that stuff through the NFL draft. And then once the NFL draft happens, we'll scale it back into once a week. And then we ramp back up again right around media days, start of August. We're back to 2 pods a week. We recap all the action. And yeah, we do a lot with it. And we definitely don't just hit record and just, and just kind of BS back and forth. We have a lot of stuff that goes into it.
Again, you'll find this all right here with the Next Round YouTube channel. As he just said, the podcast will be available, all of that, so you don't really have to change anything. It's just the OG Kickoff is going to be right here with us at Double Down Media on the Next Round podcast and YouTube channels. And Connor is with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. And that's one thing we love about you, and we're getting to know Will. Frankly, we didn't know Will very well, so we're getting to know. We've known you a long time. You guys love football the way we love football on this show, and that's why this is such a natural marriage with what you guys are doing and what we're doing, is because anybody that has watched you, as I said earlier, there's no guest that gets 100% positive feedback, but you're about as close as anybody, Connor, because I think people know you have a passion for college football, and that's what our audience has a passion for.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do. I mean, we are college football sickos, and we love digging into the history of the SEC, the past, the present, the future, all of it, because it's fascinating. It's become such a mainstay in our lives, and we like being able to talk about it even when it's late March. And we realize that there are college basketball things to talk about as well. And, there are different times of year in which college football is not the thing on the front burner. We get that. We are the place, though, to come to for that college football content. And we'll have a lot of different things that we'll dig into related to all these new coaches that we have in the SEC. What's it going to look like at this quarterback battle, that quarterback battle, all that stuff. But what I like getting into as well is some of the sliding doors. And Will is someone who has great understanding of the history of this conference as well. He's someone that lived in the state of Alabama for a very long time, grew up an LSU fan as well, because he spent part of his life in Baton Rouge, and, grew up listening to you guys, and you guys are a voice of his childhood as well. And so he's someone that can apply that to the SEC knowledge base that we're able to provide. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun getting to talk about college football year round, and doing so at a place where obviously the people talking about and the people listening to this love college football.
Okay, I know y'all are wall-to-wall college football, but like most sports fans, you are watching the NCAA tournament. So I asked these guys this question on our 4 Downs a minute ago. You're an Indiana guy. Over the next 5 years, more success, UConn hoops or Indiana football?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
And then on the backside of that, tell us why Indiana basketball is so bad.
Golly. Oh, how much time you guys got? Look, I think that if I'm betting, I would probably say Indiana football, just because it's really hard to have a decade like what Dan Hurley's been able to do. And I think IU is pretty well set up on the football side to be able to make this thing go. I could make both sides of the argument. I really could, because Dan Hurley, he's putting together maybe the second best 4-year run from a college basketball team post John Wooden. I mean, I think 89 to 92 that those Duke teams are the only 4-year run that's like definitively better in that time frame. So I won't say that Dan Hurley's going to like fall off or anything like that. History just shows you it's harder to sustain that over the course of a decade, whereas maybe IU is on the earlier stages of kind of what they're able to do throughout the rest of the 2020s. I sound really biased in saying that, but yeah, I would probably give a slight edge just because I just trust Ignetti to be able to figure things out. And as for the basketball thing, let's just say at a place in which standards were different under one Bobby Knight, the ability to live up to that year over year has weighed heavily on whoever has taken that job. And I've seen it firsthand with Tom Crean, who wanted to make sure that he told you he was the smartest person in that room. And it just kind of wears on you. I think it's a really difficult job. And when you can, go into Indianapolis and get a Braylon Mullins out here to just hit like the biggest shot in school history, and you don't even have those guardrails on your own state anymore, you're talking to a different generation in the way that you weren't able to under, the Bob Knight era, that whole regime. So it's just a harder program to build up. And I compare it to Nebraska football. Like, I think that's kind of what it is on the basketball side. And, hopefully I'll have my time to be able to celebrate glory years of Indiana basketball, but I'm not holding my breath on that.
Well, more with Connor O'Gara as we continue on. The show brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, UCA. Taking care of Alabamians for over 70 years. UrologyCentersAlabama.com, 205-930-0920. In the spring with the NCAA tournament, the Masters, we always say it's a great time if you're ready to wave the white flag and get that vasectomy. UCA does that. Testosterone treatment, Urology Centers of Alabama does that. Everything from prostate health to kidney stones, UrologyCentersAlabama.com. Gus Malzahn, Jeff Tedford on the College Football Playoff Committee now. Recent coaches. I sort of like having that. They're not old retired coaches. They were just doing it this time last year or 2 years ago. Do you like having that recent coach knowledge on the committee?
Yeah, I'd rather have a recent coach than an active AD. I'll tell you that. I mean, Gus, I have my criticisms of Gus over the years, and those are pretty well documented and certainly deserves a lot of praise. But, he's really good for this role. This makes a lot of sense. He's been in 3 different power conferences during the 2020s. You need someone that kind of understands the landscapes within these leagues. And I don't necessarily know, is Gus going to go to bat for the SEC teams over the others? Is he going to say like, oh, hey, I saw this year in the ACC, I'm going to go to bat for that. I don't think he's going to really do that. And I think he's had enough experience over the course of the last 2 decades in college football where I would trust his judgment. And I think he's the exact type of person that you should be recruiting to have roles like this. Guy that steps down at a place where he's still mentally in the right place. What's Gus, like 60 years old? I mean, he's definitely young enough to be doing this. And I don't think that it's all of a sudden like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's entrenched in beliefs that were, formed 30, 40 years ago. So yeah, I love being able to see someone like Gus step into a very prominent role.
I mean, and I don't think, when I saw this yesterday, I was like, oh, Alabama fans are going to love this. But, I mean, I don't think Gus would have an axe to grind. Do you guys?
No. I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't think. I think Gus, say what you want. You may not have liked him because he's Auburn. Coach Gus is a nice guy. I mean, I don't think he's like, by God, I hate Alabama. I'm never going to give them anything. I don't view it that way.
It never crossed my mind.
No, I never thought about it.
Well, it only crossed my mind because of what we do for a living.
Yeah, it was a positive to me. What Connor was talking about was that these guys were just breaking down tape yesterday. They've been in this game. They've been in the NIL game. They've been at different levels. I think that's just such a positive thing. I love that they've got that committee there. Are you a guy that wants to have all auto bids and play your way in, or are you still a committee guy? Do you want to have at-large bids, or would you like it to be like the NFL where we play our way into the college football playoffs?
I'd kind of like auto bids per league. I would, and maybe that's an unpopular opinion because there are certain years in which obviously your league is not going to warrant that many bids. Like, Lord knows the SEC a couple of years ago only gets 3 teams into the first 12-team playoff, and everybody's saying, wow, the SEC is really down. And so you can't assume year in, year out that the SEC or the Big Ten or whoever it is going to always be worthy of that. But gosh, we have 2 decades worth of data that suggests not all conferences are created equally. They're just not. Okay. Like the ACC this year with Miami finally gets its first playoff victory of the 2020s. I mean, the Big 12 in the entire history of the college football playoff, which is now 12 years in, they have one single victory. And the one single victory was TCU, who then, 65-7 chicken wings in the fourth quarter. You know how that whole thing played out. So like, that's a really tough sell for me if I'm hearing the argument of all conferences are created equal. They deserve the same number of bids. I do think you have enough precedent there. Like I really do. And yes, things are cyclical and maybe that'll change, but I mean, goodness gracious, Texas Tech had a prime opportunity to change the way that we talk about the Big 12, which I still believe is America's conference because of how chaotic and competitive it is. But that Texas Tech team gets on that stage and they don't look like they belong on the same field with Oregon for too much of that football game. And that's a problem. So I think that the ACC and the Big 12 are still playing from behind. And I do think that having, a number of auto bids would certainly be warranted at this stage of the game, given, how far that gap has been during the playoff era.
More pressure rolling into 2026. Pete Golding or former Ole Miss coach Lane Kiffin?
Oh, it's Lane. It's Lane. It's got to be Lane because I think he signed up for this job knowing year in, year out, I have those sky-high expectations. And the one thing that Lane has not done in his career is start as an AP top 10 team and finish as an AP top 10 team. You have to do that. You have to do that year in, year out at LSU. And it's not to say like, oh, he's getting fired if they don't make it to the playoff at a given year. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have signed up to be the villain once again. And by doing so, your expectations are sky high. Pete Golding, it's not to say he doesn't have sky high expectations. Never underestimate the power of the breakup. Ole Miss is eager to win that breakup. And Pete Golding has done things so far that suggests he's capable of winning the breakup. Like, dude beat Kirby Smart with extra rest. He knows what he's doing. Like, they were 20 seconds away from beating Miami and getting to a national championship. Like, there are things that Pete Golding can do this season that can allow him to win that breakup, most notably beating LSU and beating Lane Kiffin when they play in September, of course. But I think there's way more pressure on Lane just because it's more about the outside noise of what people say if all of a sudden that roster, which I don't know if you heard Brian Kelly talk about the $40 million roster that LSU has, more than $40 million, according to him on SiriusXM. But to me, like, he's got way more ahead of him and he will face way more criticism than Golding will this year.
We did hear that, and I don't think Lane has been. I don't think he's met the media and been asked about it. I wonder if he'll try to tamp that down a little bit, or if he'll embrace it. I think most coaches, the coaches' play so far has been to be, oh no, it's nowhere close to $40 million, because I think they realize the type of pressure it comes with having a $40 million roster. You're expected to win it all.
Yeah, but Lane is going out saying just different everywhere he can. Oh, LSU is just different. It's just different. And if you recall, last year, Brian Kelly had what he called an $18 million roster, and $1 million of that was coming from his own pocket. Like, literally donated $1 million to the university to be able to make sure that they could pay for this team, because that's the world that we're living in college football. And I thought he was kind of bragging about that, to be honest. Like, you don't put that out there unless it's a significant number. And it's different now with rev share, and like, you could break down, like, it's not really the same as what it once was. Like, even as recently as 2 years ago, LSU had a $6 million roster, and now those numbers have been way skewed because of rev share and the way that these players are acquired and transfer portal buyouts, all those different things. So I do think that there is probably going to be a conversation that Lane Kiffin has with the media about that number, and knowing Lane, he's not going to shy away from it. I don't think you can at this point. You can't downplay anything if you're Lane Kiffin.
That's true. I don't know what downplaying is going to do. They expect to win a championship either way. All right, Connor O'Gara and Will Ogburn, they host the OG Kickoff podcast, and they are now part of the Double Down Media family. You will find that podcast weekly right here on the Next Round YouTube channel and where you get your podcast. We encourage you to follow them on social media at CJ O'Gara. Is where you find Connor. Is Will on social media? I don't have his social media in front of me.
Will is at Go So Hard, and it's Go in the most LSU way possible. The GAUX So Hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he leans. You talk about Lane leaning into LSU. Will leans into his Louisiana roots.
Okay, Go So Hard. for Will's social media there. So follow them on social media. And then coming up very soon, first podcast drops. Connor, give us a tease on that one.
Yeah. So, I was saying earlier, we kind of thought it would be a really good opportunity to do our OG evergreen rules of college football and just kind of mantras that we subscribe to, things we bring up on the show very often. And so we kind of go through a lot of those and we have a lot of fun with it. And we also have our guy, Brooks Austin, on the show as well. We talk about the Ty Simpson, Fernando Mendoza debate that's kind of made the rounds. I'm sure you guys have talked about plenty over the course of the last week or so, and then dig into some SEC quarterback stuff as well with our guy Brooks. So yeah, we have a loaded first episode, and then our first It Just Meant More under the Next Round umbrella will drop on Friday morning, and like I said, it'll be Auburn, Oregon national championship. One Cameron Newton.
Okay, there you go. Brooks, also a fan favorite. Boy, you're hitting all the high notes here. Brooks, a fan favorite of the Next Round audience. Well played. All right, so all of that coming up. We look forward to this. We're so excited to have Connor and Will as part of the family here. Connor, thank you for the time. This is great, and we can't wait to see what it becomes as we move on down the road.
Gentlemen, appreciate it, and looking forward to building something truly awesome with you guys.
Yep. We love it. We're excited about it. Thank you, Connor. Have a great week.
Thank you, guys. You too.
All right, buddy. Connor O'Gara with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And the show being brought to you by Michelson Laser Vision LT.
205-969-8100. Again, I had the 2200 vision. Didn't even realize that I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the procedure, which only took 12 minutes for both eyes, 2015 vision better than 2020. Dr. Mark Michelson, first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama in 1995. Dr. Jen Michelson, they are the best. 205-969-8100 for more information. MichelsonLaserVision.com.
And our friends at Champies, who bring you the final hour of the show every day. Sterling has brined that chicken overnight for about 26 minutes now. He's been cooking it because, see, he doesn't cook it in advance. It's cooked to order. It comes out piping hot, juicy down to the bone. Real stand in line, be parked on a highway chicken fingers that are hand cut. Huge chicken fingers. Perfect for tailgating during football season. Great to watch the Final Four this weekend. The Mississippi Delta recipe, tamales, and so much more. It's all right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. It is Champy's Chicken. Champy'sChicken.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinara, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champy'schicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Final segment of the show, we'll get to trash in just a second. The show today being brought to you by our friend Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys. Tell us about Alexander Shannara, Brownie.
Shannara.com, Shannara.com. That is the place to go when you find yourself in need of any legal assistance. He's recovered more than $2 billion. That's $2 billion with a B, $2 billion for his clients. He can do the same work for you with Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys, Shannara.com. And don't forget, as we go to Indianapolis, the Shannara Showdown will be back with all 3 games over the weekend. You simply go to nextroundlive.com, pick the games against the point spread. 2 options will be up there. It's a 50-50 shot, man. So easy to do. Any correct entry goes into the drawing. This is not like some bracket thing where you've already been eliminated. You live every round here. Grand prize is one of the bottles of Pappy from Alexander Shannara's private collection, which is a significant one. Or $1,000 if you win. $1,000 Amex gift card is your choice. We'll also give out a $500 Amex gift card and a $250. So we're paying 4 places. We'll draw after the tournament. But you can go to nextroundlive.com, play the Shannara Showdown every single game in the NCAA tournament for your chance to win a grand from our guy, Alexander Shannara, Shannara.com.
And coming up later in April, we've got news from our friends at Odie's Tavern. We will give you that in the next couple of weeks, but a great place to go for lunch or dinner. Trivia every Wednesday night at the original location in Crestline with me and Brown and Will Haver. Newer location right there in Edgewood. Fantastic food from Rodney Davis at both. The award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches like that Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
NFL Draft 23 days away. Right after the Combine and Pro Day, Ty Simpson's stock was about as high as it's been since he left. 2 more mock drafts out today. Matt Miller of CBSSports.com, I believe.
I think that's right.
Has him going first overall in the 2nd round.
So pick 33, huh?
Dropping to the 2nd round. Jets at 33.
Okay.
Bleacher Report has the Jets passing on him with both of their picks. Him going in the 1st round, but only because of a trade where Arizona jumps back in at 26 to take Ty Simpson. It seems like for some reason Ty's stock has dipped here. I don't know if we're into the window where you don't believe everything you hear part yet or not. I thought everybody was raving about this guy after the Combine and after his pro day and Dan Orlovsky leading the band. as the guy who was like, hey, this guy may be the best quarterback in the room.
Yeah, I think when you start to look at some of the teams that need a quarterback, and that being the Jets and the Cardinals and even the Browns, the Rams looking for their future quarterback, the Dolphins. I mean, there's a lot of teams that are in the mix, and I will guarantee you there are 1, 2, 3, 4 teams that probably really, really like Ty Simpson, and so they're going to sandbag this a little bit. I think when you're looking at best overall talent just at any position, Ty Simpson, if you had all these guys break it down, it's probably – maybe in the top 40 of overall talent, but we know they reach for quarterbacks. And when you're talking about the best quarterback on the board outside of Fernando Mendoza, it's going to be Ty Simpson. And these teams want a quarterback. Do you roll the dice with all of these teams drafting early in the first round? A couple of them, like the Jets, have got later first-round picks. Do you roll the dice and see if you can grab him at the top of the first round, or does somebody reach – or excuse me, the top of the second round, or does somebody reach in the first round?
If I was asking you to put an over-under slot of where he gets drafted, like 15.5. What would be the number?
I would go. I think where I would put the number is 21.5, where the Steelers draft.
21.5.
Only because it's the Steelers.
Yeah, because I think outside of the Steelers at that point, Cleveland, they would get bashed for this if they were to take another quarterback at 24 overall. But Cleveland's got multiple picks in the first round. But outside of that, I don't think he can go. Well, I guess he could go to the Dolphins at 30.
Yeah,
but he's kind of limited with teams after that.
Or Arizona trading back in, as Bleacher Report projects teams trading.
Rams could trade back in.
I saw one today that had the Steelers trading back in at 32 to take him. So I mean, you always factor that.
Yeah,
in.
I would lean though that I would put that number at about 21.5. I probably
would take the over.
I probably would take the under, but I definitely would go if you were like
the under being worse than 21.
Worse than 21
through 32.
Yeah, because I think that's probably the scenario. If somebody circles back to grab him, I don't think he falls out of the first round, because if you believe he's this talented, and I don't know where you guys are on this, like Tampa not drafting a quarterback. I don't know where you would be on Ty Simpson. I wouldn't mind the Rams getting him maybe in the second round. There ain't a chance in hell I want him in the first round.
Just as a Dolphin, well, I don't know. The Dolphins need so much. You kind of hate you just address quarterback and free agency. I kind of hate to do it in the draft too, but at some point you got to have a quarterback for the future.
Just doesn't seem like a first round talent, does he? I just hadn't seen enough.
There's only one Power 5 quarterback that was sacked 30 times and had 30 dropped completions, and that was Ty Simpson. The only Power 5 quarterback, according to Daniel Jeremiah, that was sacked 30 or more times and had 30 dropped completions, not just drops that were anywhere touched.
Thank you, Ryan Williams. Yeah. But you look at that, so that tells you won 11 games. You played for the SEC championship. You won a playoff game on the road. You had no offensive line, and you had receivers that were dropping passes. And by the way, factor in, I guarantee
you were hurt.
You could add a third factor, like what were yards per carry in that backfield? They didn't take any pressure.
1 yard a game, 1 yard a carry. I think it was something like that. And Orlovsky points out he's the only one that runs an NFL system that at any point you could put in tape and see him turn his back to the line of scrimmage with a play action fake, and then turn back, read a defense, and make a pass. Nobody else. Fernando never runs that system,
which you're asked to do a lot in the NFL. By the way,
but you can the NFL. Yeah.
If you are a front office that likes Ty Simpson, you can talk yourself into Ty Simpson in the first round. Based on things like that.
He wishes Orlovsky owned a team. There's no bigger fan out there than Dan. There was another. Who was the other analyst that jumped on with Dan? Is like, hey, I know Dan's taking a lot of heat, but he's right.
It was Kuiper's former assistant at ESPN,
McShay.
Todd McShay.
That's right. It was McShay that was like, I know Dan's taking a lot of heat, but I think he's the best quarterback in the draft too.
Speaking of quarterbacks, NFL owners meetings going on. NFL meetings, coaches are out there too. Popular conversation right now is Kirk Cousins to the Rams as a backup to Matt Stafford.
Would love it. You saw what Kirk Cousins was able to do under Kevin O'Connell, who, is from the Sean McVay tree. And, you're not looking for a starting quarterback. You're looking for somebody, if, God forbid, something was to happen to Matt Stafford, a guy that could go in there and win games. And I think Kirk Cousins, he looked lost in Atlanta. But I think coming with the receivers and that offense that the Rams run under Sean McVay, I think he would be a great backup there.
3 things really quickly before we get to trash. One of them, I don't know if my my DTF St. Louis prediction on the Sun is going to be correct, but I did say this a couple of times over the last year that I believe at some point in the SEC women's flag football will be a
said that.
scholarship sport.
Yep.
Said it for a long time. The Big 12 announcing today that they are exploring women's flag football as a collegiate sport in the Big 12.
But why do you take on another sport that's going to lose you money?
That's going to be part of the and
you're going to find that it's going to be the one that doesn't lose your money.
How's that?
I just guarantee you it'll be the one that draws better TV ratings than basketball, than women's basketball.
I mean, I've never seen a women's flag football game, so I don't know. But, I mean, that would be coming out of nowhere.
But the problem with the scholarships is, well, I mean, I guess you probably cut another sport just to add the scholarship. I mean, I just don't think teams or schools are looking to add scholarships.
Small teams.
How big are the teams?
You only have 7 players on the field.
So
you probably can run with 14 people.
And you're not paying.
It's like another basketball
And
team.
here's why Jim might be right now. The TV I don't know about, but as far as revenue on this, you're not paying a $3 million coach like some of these women's basketball programs are. I mean, you're paying a coach nothing.
There is no way this is going to be a popular sport.
NFL is announcing they're starting a professional flag football league. The NFL is doing that, and part owners are going to be Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Serena Williams. They're doing it for the men and the women. So the NFL pushing this flag football thing as well. And then the third thing, quickly before we get to trash, happy birthday to Lance Taylor. Brown's birthday over the weekend. We didn't get a chance to celebrate that yesterday, but today is Lance Taylor's birthday. Happy birthday.
I appreciate that. I mean, I think after, depending on what that mark is for you, like after 21, I was excited about 21, being in school. I'll never forget I was in Nassau in the Bahamas when I turned 21. But after that, birthdays literally is just a lot.
The thing I'm happy about that we got away from after year one was squirting thing on Forster's hat, or in my ear, or on the back of a shirt, or whatever. We used to try to celebrate those the first year we were up here. I'm glad we got away from that.
Yeah. You hated the celebrations.
Well, I
hated more than
I hated the confetti cleanup, but it seemed like something had a loud noise in my ear one time, or something behind me, or I forget what it was.
I mean, I did unload one of those. What are they called?
The string.
Silly string.
Yeah.
I ruined Forster's hat, and I've always regretted it, and I've tried to find a replacement.
Dunaway's dome doesn't stain, though, but you stained.
That in my ear,
yeah. I'm sorry, Scott. I mean, I've apologized.
I loved that hat.
I know you did, and I've apologized as many times as I can.
How can you not find another one online?
They don't exist.
It doesn't exist.
I have looked.
It was a great hat.
And Scott was nice enough to say,
harder.
I can't look any harder than I have.
Just start going to all those vape stores.
That's where I got it.
It's a White Sox hat, but it's a red White Sox, and it was a good-looking hat.
It's the one we mocked our next round hat after.
No, it's not. Well, the logo on it, but the red, white, and blue. It's not a red, white, and blue hat.
Yeah, it's just red with a white logo.
But it's the one we mocked. I didn't say it was identical. You got to listen to my words, Scott. Mocked. We mocked it after that to try to replace that hat. I remember it. The discussion was like it was yesterday.
There is no replacing that hat.
Yeah, clearly not. I've tried, but Tyler says I've not tried hard enough.
Happy birthday! I hope your locks hit. I hope you go by New York Butcher Shop and all
something
the,
for
and all
Maddie
the
to
things.
cook.
Oh, I get to see all the kids tonight, so I'm excited about that. But again, I appreciate that. But as Brown learned over the weekend, it's just a number, right?
Age is a social construct, Jim. We're not limited by our age.
No, I've said that for years. I'm running into the future way ahead of you guys.
I do think you start. I mean, really, you're like, damn, how many more of these do I have?
100%.
I've not thought of that.
100%.
You need to.
Yeah.
Nobody knows, Lance. That might have been my last birthday.
I mean,
I may be at the halfway mark.
I mean, mathematically, you may only have a couple of rebuilds left in the Dolphins' history.
I mean, when Clay said that today, what's Clay 45, and he said I would take 1-1-1.
Yeah.
And I know I said that before the Rams won in 21. It's really sad though when you think about, man, I'll take one more championship. I'm going to put all this fandom into it, and I'm only going to get one more in my lifetime. But some won't get any.
But see, you and I have experienced the same thing. I said that with the Buccaneers in 2020. I was like, we just won that one. I'm going to retire, as a Bucs fan, happy now. I've got my second one. Never thought I'd have one. I've got two.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, every year, I'm like, come on. Let's get in there.
Last year was my most frustrating year as a Rams fan ever.
Yeah. Y'all didn't win it.
I know.
Yeah,
that's why
Seattle did.
Here's the frustration.
Yeah, we left too much out there.
You really did. Best team in football most of the year. But happy birthday. Don't think about that today. Think about other things. But I know what you'll be wishing for when you blow out your candles.
A Ram Super Bowl, you're right.
Ram Super Bowl.
Hell,
you weren't supposed to say
Super Bowl.
it. Ram Super Bowl. And for our friends at Hemp Hill, maybe not to come out to your house 100,000 times this year.
That would be nice if 2026 we can avoid that for the majority of the year. I've just got a feeling sooner or later. Now that Dunaway has released the Sun on DTF St. Louis, that kid's going to be chopped up in a garbage bag next episode probably. The AC is going to go out this summer. That is a prediction for me. Now they put it together. They rigged it a couple of weeks ago. But that's the great thing about Hemp Hill. They're going to come out and they're going to be honest with you, transparent. Here's your options. This is why Birmingham has trusted the name Hemp Hill Services since 1954. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, cooling, any of those issues, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. Hey, is the judge still alive?
No, he passed away last Monday. So there you go.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 83. Here we go. Look at Ryan Brown.
No, he really did.
I can't believe you just did this. I can't believe this twice now.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We start potential bracket challenge for next year. Okay. Barbie Dream Fest, the first official Barbie fan convention, is going viral for all the wrong reasons after attendees compared the Fort Lauderdale event to the Fire Fest and the infamous Willy Wonka experience.
Our problem with bracket challenges, I don't think there's going to be a year two. I've seen this story. I don't believe there'll be a year two.
3-day event billed as Barbie's first ever official fan festival and ran from March 27th to March 29th at the Broward County Convention Center in Fort Lauderdale. Organizers promoted celebrity guests including Serena Williams, Angel Reese, Marlee Matlin, alongside attractions like the life-size dream house setup, an 80s disco roller rink, panels, workshops, and a marketplace. As the event got underway, a post from disappointed fan u/adventurous_pin quickly started spreading across Reddit and other social platforms, nicknaming it Barbie Nightmare Fest.
It's awful.
Now, the user claimed they spent around $1,000 between a pink pass and a hotel cost, only to arrive at what they described as a chaotic, underwhelming convention with little signage, confusing room locations, and a, quote, swag bag that allegedly contained nothing more than a small Barbie-branded hand sanitizer.
Oh, my God. That's horrible.
The roller rink
would it be punishment for me, though? Because at my age, I, too, am anatomically not correct. So I'd fit right in at a Barbie convention.
I mean, this is really like somebody threw this thing together day of.
The roller rink, it was described as a glow-in-the-dark roller rink, and you saw it early in this video here when this video started. It's literally just like some barricades set up in like a 12-foot square. And that was the roller rink. You're just skating on the floor. No,
now,
there it is right there.
Post echoed similar complaints, with one attendee saying they paid $250 and received a spray hand sanitizer. Backlash stands out because Dreamfest has been marketed as a major official Barbie experience, and it was founded by Mischief Management, the fan events company founded by Melissa and Nelly, that says it spent more than 15 years running fandom conventions. Yeah, their time has come and gone.
I would imagine at some point there will be a bankruptcy involved with this because Mattel is going to sue them for
cease and desist immediately.
Yep. It's worth pointing out that if you Google Mischief Management in Google, the search suggestions, the second result is Mischief Management Scandal.
Oh, no, they got a scandal.
The one after that is Mischief Management Lawsuit.
It's literally in the name, Mischief Management.
We should have known.
Yeah.
Hey, Laura points out you already got the Ken costume, Jim. You're halfway home on this deal.
I don't still have it, but
you've had it.
I had it.
You still got your rollerblades?
No.
Did you throw those in the dumpster?
I donated that back.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the person that did the outfit for me wanted those back. I think she had got them from somewhere else.
A Southeast Michigan judge called out a defendant during a virtual court hearing, say it looked like she was operating a vehicle while participating in a video conference. We have seen this before, right? It's pretty obvious. Quote, "Am I crazy or does it look like you're driving the car?" the judge said. Now, the hearing took place on Monday. Judge Michael K. McNally presiding. Video conference participation is allowed on a case-by-case basis for court hearings in Michigan. The Zoom video platform shows an array of images of those participating, whether they are in the courtroom or another location. case involving the woman in the car was one of multiple cases recorded on the judge's live stream that day. When court officials noted on the record that the woman wasn't signed into the video call at the designated time, McNally issued a declaration by default and began another conversation with an attorney. Court staffer then interrupted the judge, saying, quote, "Have an iPhone here that I haven't been able to identify." Judge told the person on the iPhone to start the video function on their device and, quote, "Tell us your name, please." Woman stated her name, said she didn't know how to virtually enter the hearing room correctly. McNally again insisted that the woman sign into the hearing with a video view, which she did. Video conference image shows her seated in the vehicle with a seatbelt across her shoulder. Judge went on to say, "I just ordered a default judgment. You cannot be driving, ma'am." Judge said, shaking his head as he looked at the computer screen. "What are you doing? Come on." She said, "I'm not driving. I'm a passenger in the car." Doesn't look like that to me. I don't know about you guys. Judge insisted he would not be hearing a case during which participant was driving or as passengers in the car. The woman said she would pull over, then continued to insist she was a passenger. Said she's sorry. She's got an emergency. I'm going out of town for a family member, but I will have my driver pull over. Hang on. What side of the car are you on? The judge asked. "I'm on the left-hand side," she replied. You guys help me out. The left-hand side of the car is?
That's going to be the passenger side.
Unless she's European.
The driver's side, unless she's in the back seat, row 2.
Well, if I'm looking at the car, left hand is passenger.
If you're driving, though,
it's driving is driver. It
well,
depends
he
on
asked
my
her what
point
side
of
she
view.
was on. She's on the left side.
You can also see the back seat right there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Unless it's the third row.
Not in the back seat.
Could be a third row.
Could be a third row.
That's
time.
true.
Big vehicle.
Now, McNally, the
Suburban.
judge, asked, "How would you be on the left side if you're a passenger in the front seat? Am I missing something?" She could be seen looking forward, also out of the window as the vehicle appeared to be moving. The judge went on to say, "You know you're lying to me, right? Let me see the driver." She appeared to sigh. "Hang on one second. I have to ask their permission," she said. "Now," the judge yelled. The vehicle stopped. She exited the door as the vehicle appeared to be parked near a business. No one else was shown on the camera. The quote, "You think I'm stupid," the judge said. "I'm going to go ahead and enter a default judgment. You lied to me." Judge said his order was for a judgment of $1,921 and will reflect the defendant was not available at the time and was driving a car and telling the court she was not. "Have a great day and thank you," he said as ending the hearing.
I guess this all started in COVID, these virtual hearings and stuff like that, and they've just carried over because I guess it's so easy to do. I see a lot of them on social media, though, that go bad. And it's stuff like this, just
well, it's common sense,
idiots
right?
being idiots. Yeah.
Shipment containing more than 12 tons of Kit Kat bars has vanished in Europe after thieves stole a truck carrying 413,793 units of the Nestle brand new chocolate range during transit.
I had this story, and I was waiting to see if it popped up today.
Do you like Kit Kat?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's a little stale. Like, it's one of those I could get tired of quickly if I'm really hungry.
I could eat a truckload of them, no doubt.
It's better than Twix for me.
No, I like
Definitely.
Twix better. No, Twix is better.
Twix
is the go to the candy bars.
Twix is the cookie is stale.
It is.
Sorry to tell you. Y'all are
And this wafer's kind of stale. Now, according to Kit Kat owner Nestle, the truck left central Italy, was headed towards Poland when it disappeared during the week of March 23rd.
I just don't understand the end game here.
I don't either. I mean, like black market, you're going to sell these for $1. I mean, what a pain in the ass.
Raising money for a ball field.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's going to buy a Kit Kats in bulk, right? And these things are
get
going to
bad
go bad.
really quick, yeah.
Now, the company said the vehicle was moving between production and distribution sites, both the truck and its cargo, still missing as investigators continue with local authorities and supply chain partners. Nestle said the stolen shipment weighed around 12 tons and was intended for distribution across multiple European markets.
They're probably going to try to run a ransom here, and Nestle's going to be like, "We literally have like $1,000 invested in that many Kit Kats.
Well, Nestle
last thing we're going to do is pay you a ransom."
Did say this is going to create a stock issue ahead of Easter, which is obviously their busiest or one of their busiest periods of the year. Kit Kat or the Cadbury egg?
Kit Kat.
Kit Kat.
Kit Kat. Yeah.
Go Reese's.
Jeeves, what? Well, I guess none of these guys were with us. How many Cadburys do you try to tackle that time?
Forget how many I tried to tackle. I didn't make it to 12. I know that. I guess I was trying to do 12.
Of all the eating challenges, that was the one that got you, right?
Yeah, it was the sugar.
Yeah.
He made it to the back office on the couch.
He did. I remember that.
I think was it the pancakes from McDonald's that got you?
Yeah, but you got all those.
No, I did all those.
But I thought you felt like complete shit afterwards.
I mean, I did later on feel like that because I think I ended up doing that. I got a picture of the pancake one from back in the day, but that was bacon and everything. I finished that.
Yeah, he ate
The
sides
big
with
breakfast.
it.
Yeah.
He ate sides with it.
That was 6 full orders of IHOP pancakes, full stack.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And he
With bacon.
destroyed them.
Yeah, and remember how nice I was? I offered if you ran 10 laps around the building afterwards that I was going to wipe like 2 or 3 more steaks.
Yeah, I couldn't have done that.
You remember how nice Lance was?
I remember how nice Lance was.
Finally.
I was just talking with on y'all's days off when I was here. Tyler and I were talking about the food challenge he's got to eat since he's the loser of the bracket challenge, and I told him we actually did it in 4 downs. I think it may be this week where the most I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
The night I ate at Fleming's,
Yep.
and then said I could eat that whole thing again, and we went and did trivia, and I ate 12 crystals with cheese on the stage after eating a full steak meal with sides and
It's
a salad.
pretty impressive, the amount for your size that you can eat. Finally, 25-year-old woman from China has gone viral for making vast, intricate sculptures using only her teeth and a bunch of carrots.
She's AI.
This is Chen Quinn, 25 years old, began posting videos of her carrot sculptures on her YouTube channel under the username Carrot Girl. As of March 28th of this year, her most popular video depicting a large carrot mosquito has garnered 140 million views. Chen Quinn has stated that she is not a professional sculptor. She has been trained in graphic design and 3D modeling. Some of her more extravagant designs begin with a wire and plastic frame before she decorates it with shapes made from carrots. Her sculptures include dragon ships, the Great Wall of China.
Tyler, this is AI, Tyler. This is not a true story.
100%.
What makes you say that?
She doesn't look real. Look at her.
It looks like she's got a filter on her eyes.
I
so
don't think
many other social media influencers.
I don't think any of this is real.
No, this is not real at all.
You haven't seen like chainsaw sculpting and like just crazy
Well, I have,
sculptures
but
and stuff.
they're not eating carrots, and
I
they
saw
look real.
Bill Murray use a chainsaw to do an ice sculpture in Groundhog Day.
I think over there they use a much a form of editing we're not very familiar with. The way that these videos are edited together and appear is very common over in like Japan.
I mean, the alligator in Arkansas looks far more real than this does.
It is real. It's sort of an anime filter that they're using, right?
Yeah, it's just a filter to make the eyes look bigger, so that way dudes watch more.
I am not a raw carrot guy at all.
But she's got great vision. I can tell you that. Eating all those carrots. Is that real that carrots give you good vision?
I don't know.
I think carotene can help your vision.
Somebody told me you never see blind rabbits. That's how you know.
That's the joke my great uncle always
No,
tells.
it's a terrible dad joke.
Yeah. Kerotine's good for your nails, your hair, your eyes.
Well, she's got pretty hair. I'll give her that.
If it's real.
If it's real, I think she's fake.
You can also
but
have too much vitamin C too, so
Oh, can
I do
you?
wonder about that. Yeah, you will literally start turning orange at some point. if you
Oh, she hadn't done that yet.
vitamin C.
Eat enough of those carrots.
You know what's crazy is, do you guys ever come across a picture like 1,000 times when you don't want it?
Yep.
But then when you need that picture, you can't find it to save your life.
You can't find that pancake picture right
All
now,
the
can you?
time. I cannot. I bet I deleted it recently, thinking I would never need this picture ever again in my life.
Why would I need a picture of the pancakes?
Yeah.
Well, there
Insanity.
you go.
All right, that's Trash Today. Brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to destroy. Not that good of a picture anyway, Jim.
Hey, we got a next reel coming up.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
I know we had an announcement, new show, but we also have the next reel coming up, and I don't know, drop tomorrow probably.
No, yeah, after a night of editing, it can't be today.
Yeah. I've got to grab all the clips of the different villains we're going to talk about because we're going over cinema's greatest villains today.
Ooh,
Our
I
top
like
5,
this.
yeah.
Yep. And so that will be recording today, dropping tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
I like that.
Looking forward to that. The next reel will be out tomorrow after the post-pro recording today. A new Bama and Bourbon. A lot of you asking about that with Aaron Suttles, who was very popular on this show last week. Aaron and LT will do that recording on Wednesday. That'll be out for you tomorrow afternoon as well. And don't forget, Conor O'Gara, the OG podcast, is out. New one today. Is that what he said?
That's right. That's what he's telling me.
Yeah, it should be out already, right? Came out at 11:30 Central, according to him. So on this platform, go check out the first OG kickoff podcast, all happening right here on the Next Round platform. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.